welcome to the Butts in the Seats podcast, special episode number 100.
100!
We did it. We did it, Joe.
We did it! We've done this. Well, honestly, we've sat down to record over 100 times, but this is 100 episodes within our watching of WCW.
Yeah, even then, there's some funky math.
This is episode 100. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm Nick alongside Emily.
Woo!
Emily, besides undercutting.
I'm not undercutting. I'm just saying this is the 100th episode in WCW watching the bullshit. This is like the 100th canon episode.
How you doing today, Emily?
Great.
That's a lie.
Shut up.
Emily's not doing great, but
I am
she's
very
soldiering
ill.
through.
I am on antibiotics. I'm alive. It's fine.
You know what'll help that, Emily?
Don't tell my doctor, but we're about to take a shot!
Yeah, it's 10 episodes.
We're not supposed to do this on antibiotics, but fuck it!
We really didn't know what to do for this. So we're going with grind, like I guess it's Italy espresso rum.
Yeah, it's an espresso liqueur, but it's like mostly rum based.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like rum to me, but we chose it, one, because we've had it before and it's delicious, but the brand is called Grind. And we've been grinding for 100 episodes.
Grinding even more lately.
Grinding. We really have ramped up how much we're sitting down and recording in the last, 2 months.
Yeah.
It feels like we got home from our honeymoon and we're like, okay,
well,
twice a week we're sitting down and doing something podcast related.
Well, part of the problem is that we're going to WrestleMania. A Patreon episode comes out that Monday.
Woo.
The WrestleMania episode is going to come out on Wednesday.
Woo.
And then a mainline episode comes out on Thursday.
And your mom might be saying, why don't you give yourselves a break? Don't you make the schedules?
Emily, here's to the grind and here's to 100 episodes.
Here's to the future 100.
Would it shock you to learn that I actually have up to episode 200 planned out right now?
Absolutely not. No, Nick has had a spreadsheet since we really started putting a lot of time and effort into this podcast. He has everything laid out until the dying day of this podcast.
For what it's worth, episode 169 is the final
nice.
Nitro.
That's nice.
That's where we decide how much of the invasion we want to do.
Yeah, and that'll also depend on where we are in life.
But we're long before the invasion here. We're not even in the timeline right now. We're pre-timeline.
We're so pre-timeline.
We're here to talk about Uncensored 1996.
This is your fault. You can't blame us for this.
Or, as Emily was convinced we were going to watch, Uncensored 2000.
I don't know.
We just reviewed that.
Because we have a pay-per-view coming up in our timeline, and Nick had been talking about, we're going to sit down and record Uncensored. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. We have a pay-per-view coming up. This must be it. I must have just I don't know. I was not paying attention or something, or I didn't realize it was the next episode, but whatever. Okay, we're going to watch it. And then he tells me what it actually is. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know the storylines for this. I am not prepared.
But you remember Halloween Havoc 95, right?
No, we recorded Halloween Havoc 1995. How long ago? You have the spreadsheet up. How long ago did we record Halloween Havoc 95?
I don't know. They don't have dates for the recordings. I can tell you when the episode was released.
It had to have been 2 years ago.
Episode 50 was June 27th, 2022.
Oh, okay, so I'm wrong. We did not watch it in the tiny little apartment.
You're thinking the other Halloween Havoc, the first one.
Maybe you showed me the Yeti for the first time in
that
apartment. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Because I have a picture of it on my Snapchat in that apartment.
But as Emily mentioned, it's your fault, the listeners, that we're doing this show as opposed to, I guess, some of the other shows. But then again, we did choose the four.
So it's a combination of audience's fault, and I'm going to say Nick's fault.
Yeah. Well, according to you, your next episode was going into the vote.
You were very unclear with me with what was going on, so
I like how
I'm blaming you.
You blame me. You were unclear. Also you. Yeah, we're not watching Uncensored 2000, a show we've already reviewed.
We all know I have a goldfish brain. Let's not use that against me too hard, too often. So a lot going on, okay? My kidneys are inflamed.
So the four options for the vote were Uncensored 96, Heroes of Wrestling, doesn't need a year because there's only one of them. We will be doing that over on the Patreon.
Let's go.
Next on the Patreon.
Let's go. That's where Luger slams Yokozuna, right?
So I actually want to talk about that because I have been wanting to we'll sneak that in at the end. I was like, we'll see that in the end of this or something, or the end of that one. I can't fucking find that anymore.
You can't find the body slam competition?
It was on the WWE Network, which we can't access outside of a VPN. And even if I get the VPN, then I have to pay for the network to even see it. And it's not on Daily Motion or anything
That
like
is
this.
so heartbreaking.
It exists in like cut down clip form.
Oh, that's not fun. Oh, that's so sad. It's not on the Peacock at all?
No.
Oh.
If it is, I don't know what the hell to search. But
Wow. That's really sad. Damn, I am sad about that.
yeah, so here's wrestling with second place. In third place was Fall Brawl 98. It did okay. It didn't do great, but
You know what it did better than, though?
Crown Jewel.
Yeah, why the fuck was that even on the poll, my
A
guy?
show so forgettable, I had to go dub in the actual name and we announced it because I announced it as Super Showdown.
Well,
I mean, I get that people don't want to relive Saudi Arabia shows.
absolutely not. Especially with the politics around it. Let's not even get into it because we have enough stuff that we have to dance around in fucking wrestling these days.
Yeah, so we're doing Here's Wrestling on the Patreon, and then over on the Patreon, we just did WrestleMania 29, a show that when we recorded it, had The Rock ruining WrestleMania looming over it, and now it's like, well, don't we feel foolish?
Well, I feel a little sheepish.
So, it's kind of nice to just do a show that is kind of in a total vacuum.
Yeah, it is.
It's Uncensored 1996, taking place on March 24th, 1996, from, how do you pronounce the city? It's Tupelo? Tupelo, Mississippi.
Of Elvis fame.
Yes.
And more recently in Dorothea by Taylor Swift fame.
9,000 fans in attendance. I don't know if that's a sellout for this because the arena holds 10,000, but there's the set, and this set probably takes up a lot of seats, so
Yeah, but
hard to say.
they didn't like broadcast that this was a sellout or it was an attendance record or anything like that.
This show did 250,000 buys.
At this time in WCW world timing, whatever, how were they doing against Raw? Or I guess against WWE? Because I feel like there was a time in the mid to early 90s that WCW was like winning. So I don't know when that change really happened.
So this is where like the numbers and reality may not always line up. Admittedly, I can look up really quick. I mean, who is getting the higher ratings.
Sure.
As someone who peeked into the Nitro before this, they are very comfortable with just having stuff happen on Saturday night and not necessarily having every big thing happen on Nitro. It's kind of weird.
But maybe that's just a sign of them like boasting of it doesn't matter when we do it, people are going to watch.
But that whole 82-week streak has not started yet.
Oh,
that
okay.
is
I guess
all,
that's what I was asking.
That's all NWO based because we're in March of 96. NWO is a few months away.
Okay.
I also peeked into Super Brawl pay-per-view before this, and Mean Gene just plugging the hotline of like, hey, like 2 WWE superstars are going to be coming to WCW. It's Hall and Nash.
Well, he also pitched something about like somebody retiring.
That's on the show. We'll get to that when we get there.
Okay. And I know the Attitude Era doesn't like it's weird when it starts, but it's really like 97, 98, right?
It's 98, 99.
98, 99.
97
okay.
is kind of the prelude. 95 is one of the worst years in overall wrestling. People say WWE. WCW ain't doing much better, man.
That's why I was thinking maybe this is one of the times where it's better than WWE, better than Raw. So, because like that 250 numbers feels like in a vacuum pretty high.
Yeah, I mean both shows are doing about a 3 in the ratings. They're alternating a little above, little below.
So they're pretty equal.
Well, the funny thing is, I actually looked at the buy rates for WCW for this show and just around this show. Outside of some, outliers, they really hold until, they don't. Around the 250, 300,000. Like people are just like buying them like clockwork, regardless of
what the build, who's on it. Wow, I mean that says a lot
because they really hastily announced the main event of this show.
Yeah,
and it's wild. It still did so. I mean, WWE, in their dark 2009, 2010 period, was still, outside of a few shows, getting those 200, 300,000 buys, and then you have the big shows that do better. But
the Big Show,
no, he's not here tonight.
No. My other thought was...
Yes, he is.
The Big Show's not.
But the Giant is.
Absolutely the Big Show is not.
Well, I was actually looking up, like, what else is going on in the world of wrestling around this time of March of 96. And holy fuck, there's a lot going on. Well, so the upcoming WrestleMania main event, which, by the way, is next week.
Oh, shit.
Is the 60-minute Iron Man match between Shawn and Bret. Which you still never watched.
You put it on.
I put it on and you walked away like 10 minutes in and like, I don't blame you.
I thought I fell asleep. I don't remember if I walked away or fell asleep. I didn't finish it. That's for damn sure.
Not something in the world of wrestling, but similar. There was a UFC fighter suspended for, outside of the ring issues.
Like drugs, sex,
domestic
abuse?
It was vague why, but that man's name is Tank Abbott.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're telling me that Tank Abbott's problematic and I can hate him for more reasons? That's the best news you've ever given me.
On the flip side, Kid Flash was signed by WCW.
Who's Kid Flash?
A Mr. Billy Kidman.
Oh, yeah.
He apparently had a tryout match with Canyon. I'm like, I bet that fucking match slapped.
That'd be amazing.
Do the kids say slap anymore?
I don't know. It's all about the Riz.
In terms of this show, apparently Ric Flair, Bobby Heenan, and Mean Gene all got lost on the way here.
I mean, Tupelo is kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I don't really.
What I saw is like when the show started, they weren't here. I'm like, Bobby Heenan was on commentary. He absolutely was here.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, Goldust appeared on the Conan O'Brien show in character in a clip I have to go find.
Oh yes.
In WWF, the Ringmaster has changed his name to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Nice. The Ring General.
Not quite.
Imagine that.
And at the latest taping of WWF Superstars, a young Dwayne Johnson got a tryout match.
Who? We don't know him.
But yeah, a lot of weird, big things happening around this time. Man, I really should have made you review WrestleMania 12.
Pass. I'm sure we will. We've reviewed 9 WrestleManias, soon to be 11 WrestleManias. We'll get there.
I don't know. 12 is on my... I have a list of all of them going. Ones we'll definitely do eventually. Ones we could do. And ones I really don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I forget where 12 falls in there.
Nah.
But like 1, 2, 3, and 4 are ones that I'm like, I am fine never doing.
So you and I watched 1 and 2, right?
No, we watched 1. You fell asleep at 10 minutes into 2. And I'm like, I don't blame you.
Yeah. 1 was wild. 1 we finished and I was like, how the hell do we have 39 more of these coming? This is garbage.
Well, speaking of garbage, Emily, you want to get into this show?
Can't you tell that I'm stalling?
Even at the time, people were like, this might be the worst pay-per-view of all time.
It's not even that it's bad in a... It's not offensively bad. It's boring.
Well, Emily, you know what else it is?
It's Doomsday.
It's Doomsday.
It's Doomsday, brother.
You and I cannot exist in this world, Hogan. My one complaint about this opening video package is there's a distinct lack of the master.
Yeah, they really didn't lean into... Oh, well, not the master. I'm thinking of the Taskmaster.
Well, I'm thinking the Taskmaster's father, yelling, Sullivan, my son, and all that.
Sullivan, my son.
Yeah, they've kind of given up on him. There's no Yeti either.
There is no Yeti. There is just a significant lack of, Dungeon of Doom integration.
Yeah.
To the storyline,
There are... so they're part of the Alliance to Eliminate Hulkamania.
Right.
And, where's the shark? Although he may have also already split off. Yeah.
I'm okay with the shark not being here.
He's a good wrestler.
He's fun to watch, but I don't know that I'd call him a good wrestler.
Okay, we'll disagree there.
Okay.
The shark's not a good character, but him as Earthquake, he's fucking great.
I always forget they're the same person.
And he's part of the Oddities in '98. He's Golga.
Golga?
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, and WCW tie-in, Earthquake's WWF tag team partner, Typhoon / Tugboat. Do you know who he is in WCW?
No.
The Shockmaster.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The Jedi stormtrooper fucker?
He fell fat on his fucking ass.
Oh, God.
It was not a Jedi. He had a stormtrooper helmet.
But it was sparkly, so he was, special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still unsure whether or not that was meant to be a stormtrooper helmet in kayfabe or not. Were they like, oh no, we totally disguised this. This is not a stormtrooper helmet.
Maybe we'll have to go back and see what they say in kayfabe because I don't.
Oh, they move on so quick. They're like,
I know, and I wish they didn't linger on this.
So yeah, it's the Dungeon of Doom, kinda. It's Sullivan and
my son,
Meng and the Barbarian, and then 2 actors.
I have updated the geography of the Dungeon of Doom in case anybody was curious.
You need to create a map.
I should.
We'll sell it as a t-shirt.
I have updated the geography.
Emily has asked that I go light on this, but Emily really struggled with the Dungeon of Doom and the Legion of Doom, even though the Legion of Doom technically is not on this show. The Road Warriors,
which is so annoying. They're all the fucking same. I don't know. I don't know how the Dungeon and the Legion of Doom are different entities. I don't see how that is possible.
They literally don't even interact.
That's bizarre to me. That is a lost opportunity for a mega heel alliance that they just forewent.
Well, their alliance instead is the Horsemen and the Dungeon.
Terrible.
And Lex Luger, who I guess technically joined the Dungeon of Doom at the end of Halloween Havoc.
Did he?
Yes, he heel turns on Savage and Hogan at the end of Halloween Havoc. But then immediately the Yeti comes out and you forget all about that.
Yeah, I was not focused on Luger's storyline.
It's been pointed out that, like, part of the reason people forget he joined the Dungeon of Doom is because he doesn't get a shit new character. Like, he should have been the Lexorcist and been, like, possessed.
That would have been good, the Lexorcist?
Yeah.
That would have been great. For 96 standards, that's awesome.
Like, as opposed to the mist, he, like, spits the, like, green pea soup.
Ew. He comes out in the, like, the ratty white robe that the Grudge wears. Or not the Grudge.
I'm sorry, don't you mean Pazuzu?
Is that the thing's name?
They name it in the second one.
Pazuzu. I don't think I've ever seen the second
It's
Exorcist.
not good.
I think that's why
I've not seen the third one. I want to, because the third one apparently actually is fairly good.
You're not into horror movies, though.
I think most of them are lazy.
Well.
The third one is like it's almost not a horror movie to my knowledge.
Well,
so,
anyway.
So yeah, all we care about is the sudden main event of 8 men versus the Mega Powers. Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. Randy Savage is just along for the ride here.
Yeah, I don't think of him as a mega power.
Well, that was their WWF tag team name.
Oh, okay. I thought they were actually saying, like, their status within the company.
No, that was their team name in WWF.
Okay. How did that get allowed to come over?
I think it's just because it's 2 words. I don't know. Well, I mean, if you ask Michael Buffer, it's totally different.
Yeah, well...
So we get the opening pyro on commentary tonight. We have Tony Schiavone, Bobby Heenan, and Dusty Rhodes, baby. We felt very different about Dusty on commentary tonight.
I loved Dusty on commentary. I thought he was fantastic. I want him on every pay-per-view. I love him. I think I have more notes about commentary lines than I do about, like, actual wrestling in the show.
Well, that's not surprising.
No.
Commentary talks the Alliance to eliminate Hulkamania, which needs a better name.
The Alliance to eliminate Hulkamania. Hey, maybe call it the Dungeon of Doom.
Well, Ric Flair's like, I'm not joining no dungeon. But we go pretty quickly straight into our opening match. It is for the WCW United States title. It's Eddie Guerrero versus
Viva
Conan.
la raza.
No, this is baby.
He's such a baby. And Conan is also in rare form.
Conan also comes out to it. I'm pretty sure it's a new theme. And
he's in like a full mask and almost lucha looking outfit.
Yeah, not the Max Moon outfit though, unfortunately. No. But he comes out in, it's a wide variety of colors depending on how the light hits it. But it's red/fuchsia, blue/teal, and a little bit of yellow and black. And Emily, I think we have to ask.
It is the 100th episode.
Who's that Pokemon?
Yeah, this was a lot of colors.
I feel fairly confident with my answer.
Okay, I had a few and I decided on one.
So the one that I went through a couple, but this is the one that I landed on. I'm going with Porygon Z.
Okay, I had that one. That was one of my options.
Okay. My other 2 options were Tinkatink and Camerupt.
Nah, Camerupt's too washed out.
Yeah, but it was close enough to the color scheme.
More like washed up.
Shut up. But yeah, Porygon Z, that is my submission into this game.
All right, pull up Google because you're not going to know mine.
Of course not, I never do.
I'm going with Orbeetle.
I think this is too rich. I think the colors are too deep. The colors that Conan was wearing were more vibrant. These are more like royal.
Yeah, it was very relative depending on the lighting, like I was saying.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I will fully take Porygon Z. This is one where I'm not like, what the fuck?
Okay, good.
So the match starts. Conan tries for a hold early on, but Eddie hits a top rope jumping arm drag. And Eddie locks in a pseudo ankle lock and does some flashy movement while not doing much until he locks into figure 4.
You can kind of say that for most of this. Like, flashy movement, but not doing much.
They trade pin attempts and then go into a rest hold. We get some more hold trading as it seems like they're stalling. And then it's like, oh yeah, this match goes for like 18 minutes. They are stalling.
Yeah, they are. This is not a good way to open up a pay-per-view.
No.
Like, immediate stalling, there's no energy here.
Well, this is the era of the main eventers being like, well, let's give these young guys, 16 to 20 minutes and see, like basically challenging them to, you can't work the style. And some people prove that more than others.
Sure. Like, I get it. I get that. I get that
Like the
argument,
last
but-
several pay-per-views, it's been DDP and Johnny B. Bad having to go like 20, 25 minutes every month.
I don't know, but I feel like that can't be that bad.
It's a mix. It just goes for too long.
Yes, I think a 20-minute match is too long. I think 10 minutes is the perfect time for a match.
I think it depends on the story, but
I think that there should never be such thing as a 60-minute Iron Man match.
again, depends on the story.
I'm looking at Randy Orton with this one.
Well,
I don't think that match should have ever happened.
Emily, what match are you talking about?
Well, obviously I'm referring to the Bret Hart Shawn Michaels one that happened.
No, I was at the Randy Orton match because I think I know.
That Randy Orton and Edge that went for a fucking hour.
No, it was not an Iron Man match. Did not go for an hour, but goddamn, it felt like it. Ugh. That was a 45-minute last man standing match. It was not a time limit one.
If you watch an episode of television, it goes for 45 minutes. You know how much time they give that on cable TV? An hour. It's an hour.
To be fair, we had that moment during a later match.
It's an hour.
Randy Orton did do an hour-long Iron Man match with John Cena.
Jesus Christ.
And to add to it, they did little breaks in between after each fall. They're like, here's a little like minute or 2-minute break.
Absolutely not. I would have left. I would have.
Relatedly, we actually talked about leaving WrestleMania early if they ended up doing Rock and Rome as the main event. And we're like,
do we beat traffic?
Yeah.
Because he's not losing the belt to Rock.
And even if he is, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's literally the pot versus the kettle.
I really had to sit there and be like, Nick, you have seen The Rock in the ring wrestle like 4 times. I haven't. So I can't really give that up as a wrestling fan. That's like something I have to do. Damn it, I'm not going to be happy about it.
You're going to suffer, but you're going to be happy about it.
But I'm not going to be happy about it.
Conan locks in a Boston Crab, but Eddie gets the ropes. On commentary, Tony Schiavone's like, the U.S. champion, that makes you the #1 contender for the world belt.
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No,
On paper.
It's literally almost never the case.
You're right. But on paper, it should be.
And to add to that, like when Jeff Jarrett was the U.S. champion and was the #1 contender, they heavily downplayed how he was the U.S. champion.
Well.
Now, where does Conan's fictional Mexican title from last month play into this?
That's going to go the way of the 24-hour title.
That one was at least real for a little bit. This was just
second.
like, we want you to have another belt to hold.
We're not racist here.
The two speed things back up for a second before going back to stalling. Eddie hits a top rope Frankensteiner and then a camel clutch, but Conan sends Eddie to the floor. We get more stalling to the point where we actually just cut to the stage to see the triple-decker cage for later in the night. Let's go talk about that.
That is a trend throughout this show too. Whenever there is just like one too many rest holds, like, let's go see what the cage looks like again.
Yeah, so the set is there's a ring on like the stage, and there's a steel cage around that with 2 smaller cages on top.
I feel like they're the same size.
The height is different.
Oh, okay. So it's a triple-decker cage.
Yeah, different from the Ready to Rumble one though.
Yes, but no.
Well, that one was more like a pyramid.
Was it? Oh.
Like it had the big Hell in a Cell, and then there was a much smaller cage on top, and then just like a little even smaller cage on top of that.
Oh, I guess I don't remember that set piece.
You'll see it soon.
I'm good.
You don't have a choice.
I'm good.
Yeah, Emily's actually not doing the Slamboree episode.
It's actually just Nick. Yeah. I'm opting out.
And then Emily's just going to do Hogan Knows Best on her own.
Yeah, that sounds right. In that case, we're doing Brooke.
On commentary, Dusty Rhodes notes that Conan wrestles sarcastically.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't even know what he was going for.
What does it mean to wrestle sarcastically?
He's nonchalant is the best I got.
But he also accused him of being too cocky.
And then Bobby Heenan starts talking about Mrs. Guerrero's chili.
Yeah, she's like talking about the recipe. Like,
I don't know, man.
This is also around the point where Nick and I both noticed the amount of times that Dusty Rhodes says, "if you will," which now we just can't.
Yes,
not hear.
that is a Dustyism.
If you will.
He had a couple things he kept saying. I know plunder was one of them.
Plunder. Yeah, but if you will, it popped up the entirety of this show, which was again too long.
Eddie lands on his feet from a Conan monkey flip, which was a cool little spot. Hits a tilt-a-whirl arm drag and then a crossbody to the floor. Tope into the ring from Eddie, and then a triangle choke type hold. Conan counters with a hold he gives up on really quick. It's kind of weird.
Tony Schiavone is also at this point lauding the moves that these two performers are doing as like, I don't know, great groundbreaking moves for the world of wrestling. Everything you've said has been pretty by the books.
Yeah, I mean, styles have changed since '96 a little bit, but I'm not watching this going, wow, they're so ahead of their time. It's
It seems like they're very much in their time. And not in a bad way, just in a way.
Conan hits a German suplex, but Eddie rolls through a second, and Conan hits a massive sit-out powerbomb, but Eddie kicks out. Guerrero gets dumped to the floor, and Conan hits a light suicide dive, like barely any contact. Conan counters a suplex and hits a clothesline. We didn't get a very sloppy, quick superplex from Eddie. It was just like, oh, I'm here, and go.
It was weird.
Eddie signals for a frog splash and counters a toss into a small package for a 2. Eddie goes for a leapfrog, but Conan doesn't get down enough, and he accidentally low blows Eddie, and then this is enough to pin Eddie Guerrero. Conan wins.
Yes.
It was like, what?
It seemed like a really quick ending to a really slow match.
Conan helps Eddie up, and like no one looks happy about the result. And I'm like, what the
Yeah, it almost felt like it was an unintentional ending, like if something accidentally happened.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of this was.
I'm really not sure.
Conan doesn't turn heel for months, so it's nothing related to that.
No, unless they're going for like a super slow burn.
This is entirely unrelated to whatever the turn is, but I feel like there's better ways to like protect Eddie.
But he's also like brand fucking new, isn't he?
Yeah, he debuted apparently in World War III in November.
So why are we protecting him?
Well, if you want to like build a star, you
don't know that you want to build him yet. He's brand new.
He's brand new to WCW, not brand new to wrestling.
I guess that's fair. That doesn't seem to matter for current day WCW though.
But
or like our line WCW.
But this had no business going 18 minutes.
Oh my god, no. And that's something we can say for a lot of the matches on this card.
Yeah.
They have no business going as long as they're going.
Especially if you're planning to do a flat, weird finish like this, like don't go 18 minutes.
Right.
Which is something we can kind of say for our next match. But before then, we go backstage. Mean Gene is here with Colonel Robert Parker.
But before we go to Colonel Robert Parker, he tells us as viewers that we can chat with superstars online.
Yes.
And they cut to a shot of the Giant in front of a computer looking so confused.
Yes.
So out of place. Just like, what am I looking at?
This is not the era of the web.
Which is wild that they're pushing it. It's 96. This is so strange to me that they're pushing this.
WWF does it around this time, too. There's the famous thing of like Shawn Michaels not being able to figure out what key to press.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like he's putting that on. I don't feel like the Giant's putting this on.
No, but the way they also show the Giant, he looks very naked.
He does look very naked. It's like, do you want sexy hot singles in your area?
Sexy hot giants in your area.
Man, I always think it's funny when like
doctors hate him. You never guess why.
This man has the secret of youth. Doctors hate him.
This man was a heel, then a face, then a heel again. You'll never guess what happens next.
They were also saying that this was sponsored. The ability to do this chat was sponsored by CompuServe.
Yes.
Which is just such a 90s term.
Yeah.
CompuServe. Oh, man. Anyway, Colonel Robert Parker.
He's here with Dirty Dick Slater.
Yo.
He's facing Medusa tonight, and he's doing it for all the men, including Elvis.
Well, he's not going to just face Medusa. He's going to wrestle Medusa. He says wrestle.
Dick Slater clearly reading his promo. You can see his eyes going left to right.
He's looking down. He is reading a cue card. This poor man.
Parker says that he's the rooster, and he's going to prove it.
Yeah.
This actually wasn't a bad promo. We kind of sped through it, but he can talk a bit. He is assigned as a mouthpiece to multiple people, so he can cut a decent promo.
Oh, yeah, and he'll always be entertaining to watch because of the hyah-hyahs.
Yeah,
but...
and he will go on to accidentally call Jeff Jarrett the world's greatest lover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, Tennessee Lee here.
Colonel Robert. What's going on at home, sir?
Oh, my stars.
My heavens.
We'll get to his story with Medusa a little later when we get to his match. But speaking of two lovers, our next match is Lord Steven Regal with Jeeves, or Jives.
Jives.
I swear he's saying Chives.
He might be saying Jives.
Versus the Belfast Bruiser, Fit Finlay.
So on paper, Regal versus Finlay. Sounds like a great match.
I think Finlay's like 39 years old here.
Baby.
Or, oh God, I don't know if he's 39. He's in his 30s, because I think Ed Leslie's 39 later.
We said that Steven Regal's a little bit older, too. Like, he's in his 30s.
Regal's 28 here, actually.
Oh, okay. I thought he was older.
So this match starts stiff and...
and stays stiff.
Yeah. Lots of hard strikes and holes. They brawl around ringside. Finlay works over the arm of Regal. Dropkick to Finlay back in the ring. Cut to Conan at the Spanish announce table, also looking very naked.
So this is where commentary starts talking about the city of Tupelo. And I think it's Bobby asks, how many people are in the city of Tupelo? And, Tony, being a consummate professional, says, about 33,000 people in Tupelo. Bobby says, that's about 7/10. Yikes, you're not wrong, but yikes.
They trade more hard strikes and stomps. Finley hits a scoop slam and then a standing senton. And I'm like, these men are just fighting for real. Finley tries to grab a chair from ringside, but it's all joined as one row.
Yeah, so he can't take the one. They're all like hooked together. Ugh.
Regal suplexes Finley to the floor and then hits a suplex on the floor. Moore holds his commentary, tries to figure out where Ireland is.
Okay, because the only note I have is Dusty is not good at geography, and I couldn't remember what that was.
It's 20 miles from Blackpool.
Oh yeah, he's like, it's just right outside of London.
Yeah,
it's not. And he also mentions that one of these guys is getting smacked in the belly welly.
Emily, how's your belly welly?
Not great, Bob. It's actually not my belly welly. It's my uterus belly. Sure.
You proud of that one?
My kidney Whitney.
Regal sneaks a low blow by just moving the referee.
It's like, you'll go over here and bah.
More stiff shots from both men. Finley hits 2 knee drops, then misses an elbow. Belly to belly from Finley, and then a kick to the spleen, for lack of a better term. Finley runs Regal into ringside and then punches him straight in the fucking nose.
Yep.
Breaking his nose, I think cutting his eyelid.
Yeah, you were rattling off all the injuries in this match.
Yeah, Regal's face gets fucked up.
Yeah, he breaks his nose, his eyelid gets cut. I think there was a broken rib.
No.
I thought there was a third one.
Yeah, there is something else in the face.
Fractured cheekbone.
Yes, that's what it was.
Jeez.
Well, according to Regal, years later, we should know because, time makes you forget some things. Apparently this match was going to go another 10 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
This match ends in a DQ at 17 minutes, so I don't think it was going to go 27, but I can't rule it out. So Regal's nose is just gushing blood. Mm-hmm. Finley sends Regal back into the ring, and things get very awkward. It's like, oh, you're clearly actually hurt.
Yeah.
Regal sends Finley to the floor, and they brawl up the ramp. Regal throws Finley into the cage. And then we get 2 of Regal's group coming out. They're called the Blue Bloods.
The Blue Bloods.
The one I knew was Dave Taylor. I did not note who the other one was.
So what is this group's deal? Why are they called the Blue Blood? Why are they with Regal? Are they like, UK cops or something?
They're just, think the Always Sunny, yes.
Oh,
just very like prissy boys.
Prissy, gotcha. Okay, I was thinking they were more security.
No, it's little prissy high class UK boys.
Love that. I love that.
Dave Taylor actually goes to WWE at some point.
Oh,
like
I know that name.
2006.
Yeah, I know the name Dave Taylor.
Do you?
I've heard it.
Why the fuck have you heard of Dave Taylor?
I don't know, but I've definitely heard that name.
He's around for like 6 months.
I don't know, man.
What the fuck do you know Dave Taylor?
I don't know. Maybe he's like a talk head on a documentary or something. I watch a lot of documentaries.
My thing, I'm trying to tell, I'm like, who are you actually thinking of?
Is there somebody else with the last name Taylor?
Yes, but
Dave Taylor is in my brain.
So they attack Finley, causes a DQ. Regal slaps Finley, and then Finley chases them out, which clearly they weren't ready for because they had to hightail it after that, and that ends the segment. Thoughts on this match?
It was all right. I wanted it to be better.
Yeah, I kind of like this. I get people who do not like this at all. Like
I don't viscerally hate it. It should have been better with who was in the ring.
I think this is just not an American style. It's a lot more World of Sport kind of stiff, hold-based
See,
style.
I don't mind the stiff. Like, that's fine by me. And I usually like Regal's matches. So, like, even when I'm not really into his match, I'm into his characters. So, like, it wasn't bad. It was just a little boring. And it was a little long. And
yeah, once again, why is this going, I guess more than 17 minutes originally, but it doesn't need to go that long. Like, you barely advertise any of these fucking matches. Like, just add another one.
Right.
But I kind of like this, but I wish it was a little something more. These guys don't go one-on-one again for 10 years.
That doesn't surprise me, because they didn't put Finley in a lot of matches.
Well, Finley also, like, retires for a little bit, but they do heel versus heel in 2006 WWE, and the referee is the same referee as this match.
Really?
Nick
That's
Patrick.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of weirdly full circle.
But they do that match on the night of elevated liver enzymes, so no one's really into that match because it's very impromptu, two heels facing each other.
Elevated liver enzymes?
Oh, yeah, baby.
What does that mean? Is that a band or did somebody get diagnosed?
It means a lot of the roster tested positive for elevated liver enzymes, which coincidentally is something that can happen from steroid use.
Oh, got it.
It happened in 2006.
Sure. Sure it did. Of course it did.
Yeah, the two main culprits were Bobby Lashley and Great Khali.
Bobby Lashley makes me sad, but Great Khali doesn't surprise me.
Bobby Lashley apparently put on 100 pounds of muscle, so...
Woof.
Yeah, it's...
I'm sure nothing bad will happen about that. Like, nothing will go wrong from just people taking steroids in 2006.
At least not until 2007.
Shh. We don't need to talk about 2007.
Backstage, Mean Gene is here with The Giant and Jimmy Hart.
So, we know the Giant is tall. We
Yes.
know this. It's known.
One could say he's a giant.
He must be standing on a step stool. He is looming. There is no other word for it. He is like a foot and a half taller than
Gene
or Jimmy.
and Jimmy are both small guys to begin with, too, so...
But, like, he's massive. And I know he's tall, but he's not that tall.
So the Giant is facing Loch Ness tonight, and
Woof.
I could start with rhymes. I could start out with riddles. Loch Ness, I'm going to cook you like bacon on the griddle.
And that's all we get of the limericks.
Yeah.
He has a whole rest of his speech, and he doesn't rhyme a single word with another one. And I was very upset about this. This was a lost opportunity for him to become my best bit, and he just lost it.
Jimmy says that no one puts their hands on him, and says that Loch Ness is 750 pounds,
No
which is a
fucking
number
way.
I don't believe and also kind of believe.
As someone who watches my 600-pound life, this man is not 750 pounds.
Apparently, the winner of the Giant Loch Ness match gets a title match tomorrow night on Nitro.
Woo.
Giant's promo, minus the rhyming thing, like, it was okay.
It could have been amazing. It could have been great. It could have been the best bit.
You just want Dr. Seuss to be a wrestler, apparently.
If you're gonna, like, lean into the rhyme, lean in. Commit, my guy.
We then get commentary lounging and talking about the upcoming matches.
Yeah, they're very much manspreading in this shot. Like, the way the camera is angled, you're just, like, seeing straight into their crotches. It's, ugh. I don't need to see those bulges.
We then go back to Mean Gene. Don't know why. He shills the hotline, and the latest rumor is that someone from WWF might be retiring soon.
And going to Hollywood.
Yes. That person is Bret Hart.
Which is not who I thought it would be.
Yeah, he goes on to the show Lonesome Dove.
Ah, yes. That classic, Lonesome Dove.
It's like a Western style show. I've watched none of it. We might just need to watch some of that on our own, just for personal enjoyment.
And if it's worth talking about, maybe we talk about it on the Patreon.
Yeah, most people don't talk about Lonesome Dove all that much. I think it's just very much like a...
It's a show.
Yeah, I think it's one of those like, it's fine. It just happens to have Bret in it.
I'm going to look it up.
He ends up coming back in late 96. He does take some time off.
Oh, it's based on a book.
But Mean Gene brings in Loch Ness, a.k.a. the former Giant Haystacks.
The Giant Haystacks?
Yes, so there are two wrestlers that apparently everyone over 50 in the UK knows. It's Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. It's kind of the, like, Chief J Strongbow of the UK, where I'm like, why do you randomly know this name? I don't get it.
But Strongbow, he should be your favorite wrestler. Nick loves a frosty Strongbow.
I do.
Nick, I want to inform you that Lonesome Dove is now streaming on Peacock. We can watch it tonight.
Oh, shit, buddy.
Yeah.
Maybe we will. We don't know if
We
I have Gene does call him out for it in a little bit, but fucking state of your teeth, mate. Holy fuck.
I didn't even notice it.
Oh, it's horrendous.
Oh, shit. I usually notice shit like that. I did not notice.
To borrow OSW making a Simpsons joke, straight out of the big book of British smiles.
Oh, that's so mean.
So Loch Ness is mad he's not in the Doomsday Cage match. And I'm like...
Why are you mad?
Which apparently Jimmy Hart took him out and put in Lex Luger, but I'm like, guys, it's already 8-on-2. It can be 9-on-2. It's fucking fine.
We all know Hogan's gonna win.
Also,
it doesn't matter.
You couldn't have pulled fucking Z Gangster or the redacted solution.
Yeah.
The Chris Benoit solution.
Oh no. Yeah, redacted could be multiple people now.
The Vince
The Brock
McMahon
Lesnar
solution. Shortly after this episode comes out, WWE 2K24 will be coming out, which is very interesting to see how the 40 years of WrestleMania mode gets impacted by all this.
Yeah, there's a lot of redacteds that are going to have to get redacted.
So there is a joke that you're not aware of, but I will clue you in now. The joke is that Stevie Richards will be doing all of these.
Stevie Richards?
Yes. In the N64 game No Mercy, they took out Big Show and inserted Stevie Richards into that spot instead.
Because it was after Big Show left?
He went to OVW. It was a whole thing. Basically, it was like, don't put him in the game, so...
Why is him going to OVW bad? Isn't OVW owned by WWE?
It was. I don't know why they pulled Big Show out of the game,
stupid.
but yeah.
Get Stevie Richards getting his time in the sun.
But yeah, so Stevie Richards has now ended the streak.
Excellent. Good job.
And he shook hands with Steve Austin at WrestleMania 17.
Amazing. What a hero.
But yeah, so Loch Ness. Yeah, why couldn't this just be 9-on-2? It's fine.
Like I said, we know Hogan's going to win. It doesn't matter who you put in that. Well, maybe it's a weight problem.
Well, he would have been one of the bottom ones, I assume.
I would hope so, but we don't know for sure.
Loch Ness tries to act tough, and then Mean Gene punks him out by being like, yeah, here, I'll give the number of my dentist.
Is that why he said that? I didn't notice his teeth, so that line came out of nowhere.
It's bad, babe.
I gotta look at it.
Let's move on to match number 3. It's Colonel Robert Parker versus Medusa.
This is a lover's quarrel?
Yes.
What the fuck?
So, Colonel Robert Parker had been having a storyline where he was managing the Discount Godwins, and they're facing Harlem Heat, who are managed by Sherry Martel. And they did a whole love story with them, and it took Medusa like 3 or 4 months to, I guess, watch WCW and be like, what the fuck? Because apparently Robert Parker and Medusa were an item. This is all in kayfabe. None of this is real.
Sure, I figured.
So she showed up and is like, calls him a 2-timing bastard, yada yada.
You bastard.
Now they have a match.
Cool. As you were saying that, I was forgetting the storyline. So, cool. This is just an excuse for Colonel Robert Parker to hit a woman. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
I don't know, man.
No, this is we're paying Medusa all this money. She dropped the title in the trash, and now we've done nothing. Because apparently there was a women's title. Don't know where the fuck it went.
Who was in the women's division?
I don't know, but apparently Medusa never won it.
Jesus Christ.
Parker shakes the ref's hand when he comes out. Medusa actually gets pyro.
As she should. Medusa looks great. Like, this
vastly different from 2000.
She looks like an entirely different person from 2000, but she looks fantastic. And it makes me sad that she felt like she had to go through all of that plastic surgery, because she has gotten her entire face redone, her boobs redone. She at least got a nose job and a facelift. I'm not shaming her. It's a shame that she felt like she had to do that. She looks great in 96. She looks great in 2000. Her tits cannot be compared. Like, they are amazing.
They didn't look better in 2000.
No, I'm saying the boobs in 2000 are amazing. I am not gonna, like, her doctor did a great job, but she looks so good. But yeah, I don't know. I like seeing Medusa. I like seeing her wrestle, so I was kind of excited.
We'll never forget that we, I guess, met her doctor via Oklahoma. Dr. Jeter, remember?
I forget about Oklahoma. You didn't ask me any questions about Oklahoma.
I did not. Actually, I
tangentially
did.
Did you?
Yeah, one of the matches in the quiz led to Vampiro versus Oklahoma.
Vampiro.
In the match, Parker overpowers Medusa and then flexes the guns.
Ugh.
Medusa takes him down with quickness. Parker complains about his back, but hits a fireman's carry until Medusa rolls through for a near fall and then a scoop slam, which Parker has to, literally approaching her for it, and she misses the cue, so he walks in a circle and comes back for a second attempt. After the scoop slam, Parker dabs his brow with a hanky.
Oh yeah, so that is his whole character. He is just dabbing his brow. He has got the vapors, the whole 9. Also, this man must have been a career blader in his youth.
Yes, he was a wrestler.
His forehead could rival Sandman, could rival New Jack, anybody like that. He's right up to par with them.
Parker hits a 2-handed choke slam and misses an elbow drop. Medusa hits 2 Brett's rope drop kicks and then a diving crossbody to the floor, where Parker very safely catches her, eases her to the ground.
Yeah, well, at least he has a little bit of reverence.
Well, I mean, like I said, he's a former wrestler, so like he knows how to take care of people.
He gets it.
Medusa hits a bridging German for a near pin, but Dick Slater trips her up, and then Darby Parker just kind of like turns over to be on top of her, and despite the fact that she kicks out,
He wins.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's it. Like, I kind of like this match, and then the ending killed it for me.
I really liked this match. I had a lot of fun with this match. The ending did kind of suck.
Yeah.
It did. But as a whole, I liked this match a lot.
Like, you could have saved it by, like, have Dick Slater hold her leg and he hits, like, an elbow drop or something. Not just, like, the random, like, I guess, leverage your weight pin. I don't even know, but...
The thing I love about Medusa is that she does wrestle the men, and she holds her own wrestling the men.
Yeah.
I love that about her. I wish we got more of that in current day.
The one problem is when you look at who she's keeping up with, she's always keeping up with a joke.
That does suck. And that's not on her. That's on
the closest
booking.
you've gotten is Evan Courageous, which she beat
Ended up
by...
sleeping with, yeah.
Well, she beat by feminine distraction because Spice low-blowed him. And
Yeah. But you can see it in her moveset.
It's a cruiserweight, so it's not a real wrestler. It's a vanilla midget, God.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I'm being Kevin Nash.
I'd never heard that phrase.
We've used that phrase on the
Have
podcast.
we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Always
Do I
quoting
have this
Kevin
reaction
Nash.
every time?
Always quoting Kevin Nash.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because he called Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit vanilla midgets.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I don't like that at all. Anyway, you can see it in Medusa's moveset that she can keep up with these guys. And she is a good wrestler. If you put her in the ring with somebody that you think is legit, she will also still hold her own.
Yeah, I think I've said it before. I need to show you some of her versus Bull Nakano.
Yeah, maybe. I just wish we got more. Like, it's such a controversial topic. I wish there was more intergender wrestling. We have the women that have the moveset for it in 2024. Like, I can totally see Bailey or Becky going against, I don't know, like the Brawling Brutes or something like that. I can totally see that.
Yeah, I think the closest you've kind of gotten in recent years is Rhea will slam somebody, Nia Jax got RKO'd, and then for the ultimate heel heat, Baron Corbin hit his finisher on Becky Lynch.
But it's always played for a joke or a storyline. Like, I would have loved to have seen Rhea in the men's rumble. I think that would have been amazing. Yeah, Rhea could have absolutely done it.
It's not even for a joke anymore, admittedly. It's they've gotten rid of that.
Maybe not a joke, but for like he hit a woman.
It's just, it's taboo.
Taboo. Yes, that's the right word. I don't want that taboo to be there. We have these crazy, talented, athletic female wrestlers. Let them show it. Yes, they have each other, but imagine what they can do. Like, I know they're married, I know it's weird, but imagine Becky versus Seth.
You know what?
That'd be so cool.
We might want to peek back on. I assume it's on Peacock. There was the mixed match challenge.
I don't know what that is.
It was a thing for it's a weird worked thing for charity.
Oh.
Where the winning team got a bunch of money donated to their charity, but it's a work.
So it's already been decided which charity gets the money.
Yeah, but it was a series of I heard if it was straight tournament based or if it was like round robin or whatever. But it was a bunch of mixed tag team matches. They did a whole they did a couple different like kind of weird team stories. Mm. The one thing most people remember is they did a weird like Are They in Love, Beauty and the Beast kind of thing with Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss.
Shut up.
Yeah. But this is also in the era of Asuka's winning streak. So it was her and The Miz, and Miz be wrestling getting his ass kicked. And Asuka's like, stop! You're going to ruin it!
Yeah.
Then he yells, my streak!
My streak! Anyway, we got off topic there.
Yeah, as we're prone to do in some of these episodes.
Anyway, I love Medusa. I'm sad this match ended so flatly. But it was silly fun that was not offensive.
It landed the inverse of her in 2000. Yeah. Backstage, Lee Marshall, a.k.a. Tony the Tiger, is
I only refer to him as Tony after this.
Which is probably confusing because we have Tony.
Well, Tony the Tiger.
He's here with the Road Warriors, a.k.a. the Legion of Doom.
Which is so annoying that they are the Legion of Doom. How can two people be a Legion?
The Road Warriors cut a typical Road Warrior promo. Tell him, Hawk, well, the medulla oblongata.
You know.
We're going to remove your brainstem. What?
Christ. Hawk giving us an anatomy lesson.
So they're going to remove Booker T's brainstem, not Sting's, apparently.
Right. What the fuck?
I fucking love the Legion of Doom promos. They're always nonsense, but I love them.
It was very much nonsense.
Yeah, they're going to win their own match type. By the way, we have seen a Chicago street fight in our recordings before.
I believe it, because I was probably just as disappointed with the last one we saw as I am with this one.
We were a little disappointed. We liked it. It was WrestleMania 13, which takes place after this, but...
I don't remember it.
It was them versus the Nation of Domination.
We are the Nation.
So it was the Legion of Doom, because it was the Legion versus the Nation.
Right. Right, and as we all know that the Legion resides within the Nation of Domination.
But the Legion won.
Yes, it's like a Civil War thing. It's very touchy.
Yeah. It was an uprising.
It was a coup.
Commentary hypes up the next match. They then hype up Slamboree and throw to just a little package and then actually go to the next match. It's an I Quit wrestling match.
Kind of.
That's what they call it. It is Diamond Dallas Page versus the Booty Man.
The Booty Man.
So yeah, Ed Leslie is now the Booty Man.
We love it.
How did this happen, Emily?
I don't know. He cut some holes in his pants and wore some pink. I love
apparently
it.
when the entire time he was the Zodiac, he was Hulk Hogan's mole inside the Dungeon of Doom. How far back does this go? Because they main evented Starrcade against each other.
Oh.
When did he decide to go crawling back to Hogan? Or was it literally from mid-94?
You think it's before that Starrcade?
I don't know what else it would be. I mean, I guess he was the he was the Butcher then, and not the Zodiac.
So you're thinking that Hogan sent Ed Leslie as a mole into the dungeon,
well,
and
then
Ed
it
Leslie
also wasn't
came
the
back.
dungeon. It was just the three faces of fear at the time.
But they were working on building the dungeon.
They really transitioned into it.
The stones had been laid in the foundation.
Yes.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Coming 2024, the Legion's coming. That storyline doesn't make sense. It would have had to have been between when does Starrcade happen? Like summer, right?
December.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! So this had to have been within the last 3 months.
Well, December of 94. We're 96.
Oh, you're saying they main event in Starrcade 94?
Yes.
Not 95.
No, 95 was a weird World Cup of wrestling. Like, we were talking about the buy rates earlier. That one did 75,000 buys. No one cared.
Yeah, Starrcade doesn't seem to be their big show.
Well, the problem was they decided to change Starrcade, like pause all stories, and it's like, well, it's just like they basically did Forbidden Door, and everyone went, "Well, what? I don't care." What?
They think it's a bigger deal than it actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is a 1.5 year long feud. I don't know. It's possible.
You mean undercover
cop situation.
Yeah, but it's still pointless. Also, Hulk Hogan is handily beating all of them all the time. Why do you even need somebody inside? I showed you the end of Super Brawl where Hogan fights off, was it 12 men with a chair?
He boops them.
Yeah.
It's not even a bonk, it's a boop.
But yeah, so the Booty Man. Now,
The Booty Man.
Emily, do you know why the Booty Man is facing Diamond Dallas Page?
Not at all.
Because Johnny B. Bad quit.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yep.
Wow.
This storyline is very much thrown together because DDP is doing a storyline of where he's losing everything.
DDP storylines in WCW are just Kimberly is leaving me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, he's losing everything to the point where it's almost implied that he doesn't get paid to wrestle.
I don't think I ever got that.
No, in the build to this, it's like they keep repoing more of his stuff. And he's like, I have no money. I have no income. It's like, you're right. What?
Didn't they do that with Baron Corbin recently? Where he became Lucky Corbin and won the lottery, but then he lost it all, or vice versa.
Vice versa.
He lost all his money and then won the lottery. Yeah,
yeah.
They had the same kind of idea then of like, why are you so down on your luck? You have a job.
Yeah. So, yeah, Johnny B. Bad wanted more money.
Sure, as we all do.
And was also mildly uncomfortable as a Christian taking another man's wife.
Okay, I respect that.
He will get divorced in the next 2 years. And then Brock Lesnar will take his wife.
Oh, no.
Separately, but...
Oh, that's poor man.
Man, I haven't thought about this till now. Man, that Sable sexual harassment suit probably has a little more legs to it nowadays, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure does. I actually thought about that as soon as all that stuff came out. It's been on my mind.
So yeah, Johnny Bad wanted more money. We just saw him on Thunder.
We did.
Yeah. No, I don't want to be stealing another man's wife. Ed Leslie. Yeah, fine.
I'll take her.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, Mark Merrow goes to WWF and loses his push to his wife, and then doesn't go on to do much else.
Yeah.
I know he has a good I know he ends up doing good social work, since then, but nothing in the world of wrestling. Yeah.
I mean, that's good.
From all accounts, he's a good guy.
I hope so. Good guy that just bad things keep happening to.
Yeah. So in the match, DDP jaws with the crowd at the start, and they take turns playing to the crowd. We will say this match goes 16 minutes. What's the how much action do you think there actually is? 45 seconds?
Oh, I think that's even generous.
Yeah. They finally lock up, don't do much. Commentary is just talking about Kimberly. Booty Man ducks a punch in the corner and then hits a punch of his own, and then kind of starts working over the arm of DDP. Booty Man struts and cuts, sends DDP to the floor, and does a little booty dance.
Little booty dance.
DDP gets in the ref's face, so the ref pushes him off the apron. And then DDP goes to leave, which I guess we should note at this point what the stipulation of this match is. If DDP wins, he gets, I guess, Kimberly back and all the money. Which I guess I thought the money was gone.
So this is where I was kind of lost, because the whole reason that DDP is down on his luck is because his wife won the lottery.
No, she won a bingo game.
The bingo game, sorry, but it came with a lot of money.
It came with multiple millions of dollars.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are we missing out on bingo?
No,
Can we, go to bingo nights?
No, the world record for bingo winnings is substantially smaller than this.
I think we need to go to bingo nights. But DDP apparently,
if Kimberly's there, yeah.
DDP bought Kimberly the ticket or the card.
No, it's just they're married or they're together. So.
Commentary kept saying well, he's warranted to some of it because he bought her the card.
No,
but she's not giving him any of the money, which again doesn't make any sense because they are married.
Well, she was giving him some, and then they split up, and so it's well, now you don't get the money.
Oh, I didn't catch that they split up. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so DDP wants the money and Kimberly and yada yada. And if he loses, he must retire, basically.
He has to quit his job. So the man who's already down on his luck with money problems needs to quit his job.
Yeah, and so his solution is, well, I'm just going to get counted out. Oh, what? Booty Man brings him back. DDP begs off, pulls the Booty Man into the turnbuckle. But the Booty Man regains control and slams DDP's head into the corner. As little action happened in this match, I was like, wow, Ed Leslie, you really are Hulk Hogan's friends because you don't sell anything.
Oh, I wasn't catching the no-selling in this. I was so focused on his gear. The very ass-centric gear.
Basically, anytime DDP got any offense, Ed Leslie's back up and nope, me now.
Oh.
Very much a Hogan versus Mike Awesome and Kidman.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't totally catch that, but I guess I see it.
Well, not enough happened, so I don't blame you, but it's the little things that happened, DDP is selling. He's not on offense.
Wow. But we do need to mention the assless chaps.
No, there's a little bit of an ass.
Not in the white pants. No, Ed Leslie's gear is some of my favorite. It is just assless white pants over pink tights that are it's so ass-centric. That is the only part that's really torn out. And it's very eye-catching. It's very distracting.
I think these are just recycled Brutus Beefcake tights, but I don't know for sure.
They don't feel like I've seen them before. Maybe I haven't seen him as Brutus.
I mean, his whole thing was, having the big hedge clippers to cut hair, so it kind of makes sense for the holes cut in the tights.
I guess that's true.
And here, he just wants to show off his booty.
Looks great. I'm a fan.
Are you?
Of his gear, yes.
For him, for who though? For him?
I'm a fan of the gear in a vacuum.
39-year-old booty man.
I am a fan of the gear. If you wore the gear, I'd love it.
DDP begs off in the ring and pulls the booty man into the turnbuckle. The ass man regains control and slams DDP's head into the corner.
I'm an ass man. Bow, bow.
DDP sells being dizzy by falling out of the ring and then stumbling into the crowd. Overdid it a little bit.
He my note is DDP yeets himself into the crowd.
I liked it falling out of the ring and then he kept going. I'm like, that's a little too much.
Yeah, it was excessive.
We then get the booty babe showing up, aka Kimberly.
The booty babe.
And we keep things slow. We'll speed up a little bit with them doing a crisscross spot, which is just run the ropes.
It is glacial.
And it just ends in both men stopping. DDP does a strut, so Booty Man hits punches and stomps.
There was a point, I don't know if it was this move, but Tony on commentary, I think, said the quiet part out loud. Like, on the mic, he was like, what was that? Like, he says it in a way of like, what the fuck was that?
I think this is where I really lost the will to live.
Oh, it took you
on
this
this
long?
match.
In this match. Oh, wow. It took you this long.
I mean, I was already not into it, but I was just like, oh, fucking Christ.
How could you? Because according to Dusty Rhodes, this place is exploding. People are so hype. Said Dusty, lying.
Yeah, Booty Man misses a crossbody. Crowd does not react.
Nope.
Back suplex from DDP, and that was way too much action. Let's slow it back down.
Yeah, whoa, calm down now.
Booty Man powers up, but has been put back down. DDP locks in a long headlock. Mm-hmm. Uses the ropes for leverage, and then the ref... and the ref, like...
Patrick, like, he mimes what it was. He, like, sticks his leg up. Like,
yeah, like, very,
no,
like,
you did
sexually
this.
pay me like one of your Jersey girls.
It was so funny.
The Booty Man finally powers up again. DDP drops him on the ropes. DDP scolds Kimberly, and she gets in the apron. He does a big kiss on her. She slaps him. The Booty Man hits a high knee. Get it? And pins DDP.
So DDP has to quit.
Yep. Booty Man kisses the Booty Babe, and DDP is irate. Massive kiss. Like, did not hold back. Like,
oh, yeah.
Made up for whatever hesitancy Johnny B. Bad had.
Ew. No, not a fan.
Yeah,
I don't like kisses like that. They're icky. It's not passionate. It's just like, now there's slobber on my face.
Yeah, they kind of skip over that DDP is gone.
They really don't make a big deal about the fact that he now has to quit.
Well, don't worry. He wins the tournament on the next pay-per-view.
Are you telling me that the I Quit match doesn't actually mean anything?
Emily, can I make it even dumber? So next month, he returns. They do a lethal lottery tournament, which is the... it's a mix of like... All right, random tag teams all face each other, and then there's a battle royal. I don't know how it works. DDP wins the battle royal, is named Lord of the Ring. And then the next night on Nitro, they're like, oh, you had to quit, so it doesn't count. And they don't name anybody else.
Okay.
So he returns, and it's pointless.
Sure. Great.
WCW, everybody.
WCW.
Thoughts on this match?
No.
This was quite bad.
It was remarkably bad.
Yeah, 16 minutes. They didn't do anything for 95% of the match.
I did love Nick Patrick, though.
What,
he
the
had
one little
his
spot?
moment. He had that moment, and he took it.
Yeah, Emily finished the show and said, I don't have a best bit or an MVP.
I do not. I still don't. At the time, I didn't even have a worst bit because I was just like, they were all equally boring.
But yeah, Ed Leslie going for more than 15 minutes on a pay-per-view. What the fuck are you thinking?
No one should go more than 15 minutes. No.
You're telling me if Ray and Kidman went more than 15 minutes, you'd be like, well, this is too long. This is too good. I hate
It
this.
depends. I think that there is such thing as too much of a good thing. If they can't keep up that energy for 20 minutes, and Lord knows if they were given a 20-minute match, they would slow it down.
Emily, I do want to note that on a WrestleMania 29 episode, you did give a 22-minute match best bit.
Which match was it?
Undertaker, CM Punk.
I don't remember what I said about that.
Now, granted, you did give a 23-minute match worst bit.
Yeah, well.
But that was because it was bad.
Well.
But yeah, you
Oh, yeah, I gave Undertaker CM Punk the best bit because that was all there was.
Yeah.
There were no other options. That's why.
There was the tag match that was shorter that wasn't bad.
It wasn't good. No, I'm not even going to apologize for that. That's not even hypocrisy.
No,
in
but
my
you were
book.
saying
No.
no one should go over 22 minutes.
I agree. No one should go over 22 minutes. But if it's the only shining light on a pay-per-view,
But how could it be
Fine.
shining if it was over 20 minutes?
could have been shorter. Could have been. Should have been, probably. But if that's all I fucking had, that's all I had.
Backstage, Mean Gene is here with Jimmy Hart and Lex Luger.
Woo!
Jimmy Hart is distraught because apparently tonight is his last night managing Lex per Sting's proclamation. He gives Luger a specialty custom-made jacket. It's like, you see, I love you, man, and runs off. Mean Gene, oh, blow it out your ass.
Gene was not having this. I thought it was kind of sweet. He gave him a gift and everything. It felt like a nice gesture. But Gene was like, fuck off.
Very in keeping with Legend's house.
Yes. Gene is having none of Jimmy Hart.
Luger actually cuts a half decent promo here, but is stumbling over his words a little bit.
He's great with the idea he wants. He's not a great talker.
Yeah, and I didn't see his eyes looking to read.
No,
I was
no.
ready for him to be like clearly. Also, did you notice he was doing a little like air guitar on his abs when the promo started?
Yeah. He was just looking at himself and they're like ogling himself in some kind of reflection.
Yeah, and Gene's like, yeah, I heard you took yourself out of the tag team match facing the Road Warriors. Like, no, I totally rather be in that match than the cushy 8-on-2 main event. It's like, you fucking liar. So we didn't get to see any of it here, obviously, but I really do, and I think I mentioned it before. I do like the Luger gimmick right now of he's a heel, but he's friends and tag champions with babyface Sting. So when Sting is looking, he's all nice and doing the right thing. And as soon as Sting turns his back, it's like, fuck you.
I like that.
It's like, literally, Sting will turn around and like, Luger like, oh, slap the hand. Sting doesn't face him. It's like, ugh.
Okay. I like that.
Like wipe the hand off. So he'll be in our main event tonight. But before then, we have a match of Giant versus Giant.
Only one of these men is named Giant.
Yes. We didn't talk about the actual like match graphics for these matches of the like cutout ransom note.
Oh, yeah. I kind of liked it. It had a theme.
Yeah. So the theme of the show is meant to be, at least in the first year, that like everything or like nothing is sanctioned. It's all no DQ.
It's all no holds barred.
I don't think they even did any title matches the year before.
Oh. It's just like all grudge matches and just like fuck you matches.
Yeah. It's just like, all right, you guys want to settle
that.
it here. But the problem is they don't hold to that because
No.
there's a title match is the first match of tonight.
I like the idea
and then
of that.
match 2 ends with a DQ.
Yeah, themes can only go so far in this day and age of wrestling.
But this Giant versus Giant match is Loch Ness versus the Giant. I wrote, state of your haystacks.
Yikes.
He's looking rough.
Yeah, he's not looking good. I'll give you that.
Yeah, so Giant Haystacks, he will pass away in November of 98. He's not in good health
so
here.
he's not doing well. Okay.
No.
Oh,
this is his only match of note in WCW.
really?
Yeah, I mean,
That's a shame.
he technically had a match on Nitro, which the entire match is he brawls during his entrance with the Giant, and Lex Luger wins by countout.
Yeah.
And then I think there's other like squash matches. Nothing goes over a minute and a half.
I mean, that for big guys, they don't need to go that long. I mean, a minute and a half is a little short.
Not being from the UK, I have no love for Giant Haystack, so I can't even pretend.
Was he bigger in the UK?
Yeah, I said he was like one of the two synonymous names.
Oh, shit.
I said before, Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks are the two ones that every old person knows. It's kind of like now, like they were the Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage in their area of their time.
Okay. Damn.
Would you believe it? In a double Giant match, they go to the corner and hit strikes.
Yeah. This is just a big man match. That's what it is.
This match or Ryback versus Mark Henry?
I don't know. I can't remember the Ryback Mark Henry well enough.
This one's shorter.
I'll take the shorter one.
Yeah. They trade head smashes in the corner, and the Giant stomps Loch Ness. Loch Ness moves out of the way, and Giant jumps into the corner, over the ropes, and to the floor. Like, crashes really hard. Like, gave himself a little something. It's all that's going on in this match.
Yeah.
Loch Ness hits an elbow drop, and then signals for a second, but the Giant moves. Giant hits a big kick on Loch Ness, then hits like an almost slipping leg drop. It didn't look good.
No. I mean, no, it didn't.
But that, he pins Loch Ness. At least it was short. I cannot say the same for other matches.
So when Giant tumbled out of the ring, do you think he actually hurt himself? It felt like it came to the ending of this match really quickly.
I think it was sore. I don't think it was...
Okay.
Because he wrestles, in the upcoming Nitros.
I was thinking it was like a dislocated elbow or shoulder or something.
No,
just,
I
like,
think
pop
it's Loch Ness. Loch Ness can't go more than fucking 3 minutes.
That's fine. Yeah. It ended so quickly.
So the Giant will actually... The Giant's meant to be a heel here. He will turn face on Nitro.
Oh, like tomorrow.
Yes. Huh. And then a week later turn heel.
Sure. This match didn't go long enough to give a shit about it in either direction. So...
The Giant looks so slim here, though.
He does. He is tall and skinny. Well, as skinny as the Giant can be.
And he's still Andre's son here.
Yes. I mean, he's still wearing the one-arm singlet, so of course he's still Andre's son.
He wears that until 2009?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Not with the, like, crotch. He definitely goes to a shorts version.
Yeah. No, I guess he wears that the one-arm thing on and off until 2009, but I know at one point he's wearing, like, the pants and the two-strap tank, but...
Yeah, I remember him being more of a two-strap guy.
It varies.
So, I can't really say that that's Andre, like, continuing on. That's just, like, changing in uniform.
I think at some point maybe it is going to be, like, a tribute, or, like, that's kind of the, as was the style at the time.
Sure.
Loch Ness was supposed to face Hogan on this pay-per-view, and then they went, no, we can't do that.
Absolutely not. That would have been horrifying.
Yeah, just throw more giants in front of Hogan. We'll get to Hogan at the end of this because it's kind of, his trajectory is kind of wild from here forward.
It's probably terrible. It's probably stupid.
Backstage, Lee Marshall is here with Sting and Booker T. And have you ever had a black friend? Because
oh my God, Sting is so happy that he has a black friend. He feels so cool.
Straight OG brother. That's what you're saying? Oh no.
Sting loves that Booker is forced to talk to him.
So Booker cuts a little promo, says it's going to be more like a Harlem street fight. Sting gets very cringe. And they just kind of shout nonsense over each other.
Yeah.
We do get both of them saying it's on, like, neck bone.
I still don't get the phrase, but they both say it.
Sting makes it kind of work.
Sting does not make it work. I don't like this version of Sting. I very much do not like the non-black and white Sting.
He'll debut that before the end of the year.
Good. I don't like this, like, weird surfer Sting. He's got too much energy. He's, like, too excitable. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's like a puppy. I don't get it.
This is the man called Sting.
His theme slaps, but I don't like this character.
Well, let's go to their match. It's the Chicago Street Fight. It's the Road Warriors versus Sting and Booker T for the tag team titles. I guess we should note why Booker T's in this match. He's subbing in for Lex Luger, and so if Sting and Booker T win, Harlem Heat gets the next tag title shot, which I like as a concept.
Sure.
It makes sense for why he's doing it.
Sure. This match is not one of my favorites.
No, this match goes for 29 minutes.
I don't even dislike it because of the length. I dislike it for...
Well, the length doesn't help, but...
No, the length does not help. But the length also makes me dislike it for my reason even more.
We did debate flipping over and just reviewing an episode of Cheers instead for the length of this match.
Oh, yeah. We're like 29 minutes. There's so many other things I could do in 29 minutes.
But Sting and Booker get attacked mid-entrance. Everyone brawls. Get used to that phrase.
Ugh.
Booker hits a scissor kick early and then a power slam to Booker. Animal pulls Sting groin first into the ring post. Sting tries for the same, but Hawk stops it. Hawk gets hit with a pile driver on the floor, but he manages to beat Booker T to his feet.
Yeah, you were really enraged by that.
I don't like this. Like, you can do it, I don't know, for a big spot. Like, Sting has done that before. But just doing it for nothing spots? What the fuck?
Yeah, you were just, like, very upset that they just weren't selling anything.
Yeah, you know what? I am going to bring this back to Pokemon.
Okay.
It's like when you're facing a Clodsire and you're like, oh, cool, I'm going to hit Surf right here. It's like, nope, he has the water absorb ability. He actually got healed from that.
Yeah, but if you were playing as the Clodsire, you love that.
But I'm the Quackwaffle using Aqua Step. I'm trying to increase my speed, brother. More brawling around ringside. Animal counters the top rope axe handle, and then some more brawling. Sting heads towards the back, and they're like, he's abandoning Booker T. Grabs a weapon, comes back. Oh.
No, it's a street fight. You get out of the fucking ring.
But also, why are there only weapons by the stage and not under the ring at all?
Because it's trying to encourage you to get out of the goddamn ring. Go explore the space. It's a Chicago street fight. You're supposed to not be in the ring the whole fucking time.
So Animal follows Sting towards the back. Sting grabs a chair, hits Animal, and then Hawk. Animal breaks up a pin with the chair. Sting power drives Hawk again. And this one's actually even worse because Booker T was at least like getting up fairly quick. Hawk is standing while Sting is still like on his ass, like rolling over.
Yeah, well.
Booker and Animal choke each other with a cable on the outside. Hawk and Sting go into the crowd and brawl, but come back like almost immediately. Hawk hits weak chair shots and there's some miscommunication, which had me kind of like note. This match almost, it's bad, but it kind of works when it's two singles matches happening in the same match. When all four of them get near each other, no one knows what to do.
I agree. I don't like the split screen, though. I don't know where to look. So I don't know if Nick mentioned this. Whenever the two singles matches are going on and they're like in separate places, the screen goes into a split screen so that it shows, Booker and Animal over here and Sting and Hawk over here. But you can't figure out where to focus your eye. You don't know what's going on. And that's like indicative of a match that was not planned or choreographed or whatever have you at all.
But you'll like Sting stomping Hawk in one corner and Animal stomping Booker in the other, and like no one tries to help each other or do anything. Like there's just no like I'm in this moment with this guy,
right?
And fuck whatever else. Like we almost ran into it the last episode of the Mike Awesome looking at Mr. Perfect going, "Oh, it's fine," and then having to attack him
literally,
later.
Yeah.
But that was a moment, and this is a 30-minute match.
Jesus, it's 30 minutes.
Booker and Animals brawl towards the stage as Hawk dodges a stinger splash. The Road Warriors try for a doomsday device, but Booker stops it. They all hit a handful of low blows, more mindless brawling. Animal dodges a diving splash, and Booker counters a Hawk dive with a drop kick, and I was like, oh, I didn't think Hawk would take that bump.
No, you didn't think anybody was going to take any bumps.
More brawling. Booker and Animal trade suplexes as Sting used the rope on Hawk's groin. Nothing brawling. Hawk just watches his partner in a submission hold and does nothing.
Does nothing.
Like literally actively in a camel clutch, just looks at it and goes, that's fine.
There is no DQ. It is a street fight. You can go and do anything, even if you're not tagged in. It's going to be fine. I hated this match.
Animal catches a Sting dive and turns it into a power slam. Animal just holds Sting's arms, trying to pin him for a good long bit.
Yeah.
I was like, are you trying to like kind of go into business for yourself? You're like, oh, if he doesn't kick out. Like, the ref stops counting, and I'm like, are you just trying to give Sting a break?
I mean, even if he's trying to go into business for himself, like at least it'd be a storyline. It'd be something.
Booker hits an elbow, but gets up using the spinneroonie, or a breakdance move, as commentary calls it.
Yeah, this is very prototype spinneroonie.
I mean, like I said, Mark Madden doesn't call it a spinneroonie until recently.
Until Mark Madden is on commentary.
Yeah. Booker hits a Harlem sidekick. Animal hits a chair shot and then clotheslines the ring post by accident. Chair shots to Animal. Hawk steals the chair and hits both men. Sting walks off to find a weapon. He finds two brooms and hits Animal. Animal immediately gets up and grabs the broom and hits both men. Animal then breaks the broom over his knee and chokes Sting with like the pointy edge. I'm like,
yeah,
you're gonna like impale Sting. Booker breaks it up, uses the broomstick to choke Animal. More brawling as Booker heads to the back and Animal follows. Commentary's like, Booker's leaving
again. You can leave the ring. You're supposed to leave the ring.
They also said this for Sting, and Dusty actually notes like, well, I mean, Sting was going that way and grabbed a weapon, so maybe it's just that.
Yes, and it is exactly just that.
They go backstage. Lex Luger is there getting all oiled and tanned up. Animal accidentally hits Luger, so Luger suddenly attacks Animal, and then a sudden Stevie Ray also attacks Animal.
Yeah, where the hell did Stevie Ray come from?
He's like, look at me, Jimmy! And just attacks Animal. Oh, Luger's making full Luger noises throughout this whole night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's in like peak Luger noise.
So Luger and Stevie beat Animal down. They knock him out and tape him to like a support beam. Booker comes back out to the ring as Sting and Hawk are brawling. Sting crashes into the barricade. Booker throws Hawk in the ring, hits a side slam, but misses a Harlem Hangover, which is a cool move. But I imagine it sucks to take.
I mean, it looks really cool.
Stevie Ray runs out, hits Hawk with a chair, and Booker pins him. So Sting and Lex Luger retain the titles. Harlem Heat get their title shot. We see Animal yelling backstage, taped up to the post. Stevie then hits him with a chair to have him stop yelling.
Relatable.
So this sucks in a very different way to, like, the DDP Booty Man match.
Yeah. I hated this match for an overarching reason, with, like, the minor reasons just kind of, like, trickled through. A street fight match should imply that there should be less time within the ring. Like, they should be going out of the ring. They should be in the audience. They should be backstage. They should maybe go outside the arena. Explore the space. They never committed to doing that. Like, they jumped into the crowd for a minute, and then they were right back in the ring. They'd go up the ramp for a second, right back to the ring. There was, like, no action backstage. There was hardly any action outside the ring. So I don't really understand what made this a Chicago street fight match rather than a no DQ, no holds barred match. I know it's just a name, but like you never gave it a reason to be a Chicago street fight match.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're going to call it that, live up to it. If you're not going to live up to that, just call it a no DQ match.
I don't have that problem with it. I mean,
that's a huge problem for me.
You can do hardcore stuff, in the ring. It's fine.
They also just didn't commit to doing like hardcore. There were no weapons. There were the chair shots were minimal.
Like whatever chair they had, like clearly no one was comfortable with it.
No.
But this match has no psychology.
No.
It's just stuff happening, like no one's selling for any period of time, so it doesn't feel like anything is actually happening. Like they do moves, but you don't get any sense of story in this match or any sense of like momentum or progression. It's just stuff happening.
It's very boring. It's hard to watch and like get invested in because nothing's actually happening.
Yeah, and like you don't believe anything that even does happen like has any importance.
Right.
Like the most you get is they tie up Animal. It's like, okay, well now we can at least kind of get settled, but then even then they build towards a finish and then they go, no, never mind. And
right.
Yeah, this was so unfocused and so fucking long, man.
So long.
I've not seen the Peak Road Warriors. I know I need to. I mean, I know they are a classic famous tag team, but unfortunately I've only ever seen them in their decline. So I want to like them, but I just kind of don't. And it seems like a lot of their novelty is kind of almost dude bro attitude of like, oh my God, they're so cool and they're so tough. I'm like, yeah, because they don't sell.
Right.
Anyone can do
dude
that.
bro, yeah.
Pull a Bob Holly. Cool. I beat everybody. And then what?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it was just kind of like, at least Sting and Booker kind of had some moves. Hawk and Animal just kind of brawl. And they set up for their finisher at one point and never try it again. Like, I imagine if this had been a regular tag match, this actually might have been decent. But the fact that it's just, it was so open, they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's the problem I have with a lot of like open world games. Where
like
it's like
video games? Yeah,
like the world is just so open, you can do whatever. I'm like,
when there's no guidance, you don't know what to do. Yeah. I had that problem a lot.
Yeah, it's why I want to like Breath of the Wild, but I'm like,
I was gonna say it's the Zelda problem. We are, I know, in the minority with that.
No, yeah, we are Mario people.
We are Mario. We like the linear storylines. I know people love Zelda. I will get there someday.
I think the difference is I recognize that Breath of the Wild is a good game. This is not a good match.
Right. Yes, correct.
Ooh. Speaking of not a good match.
Oh my God.
Let's go to commentary first. They put over the danger of the main event. Emily, the rules are very simple.
But we're going to tell you them like they're the most complex things.
Well, if Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage advance to the next section, which I guess they don't even say how they have to do that.
They just have to advance.
The men that they've beat are eliminated.
Yes.
They can't come back.
That is what is said.
And Bobby Heenan's like, it's no DQ. They're not going to follow the rules.
I fucking love Bobby Heenan in the show.
I have a feeling, and I don't have any evidence for this, I don't think he likes Dusty.
Honestly, Tony and Bobby both looked like they hate their jobs doing this show.
I think it's confirmed that Tony and Bobby don't like each other.
At this point?
I don't know how long it took, but I know in his book it was, I never should have confused Tony and Mean Gene. Gene has talent and a job.
Ugh. Yeah, there were just a couple of times where we were cutting back to commentary that Tony just had that I wish I was dead look on his face.
Notice that I really wish I weren't here right now button.
Say what you will about Dusty. Dusty was having a great time.
Emily, it's our main event, and I guess the main reason everyone remembers this show. It is the Doomsday triple-decker cage match, which technically has 4 sections, but no one remembers that.
It's the top section, the middle section.
No, the middle is supposed to be 2 different sections.
It's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Oh, they never said that.
They advertised it as 4 sections on the going in, like on the Nitro.
Oh, okay.
And there is a door, so you can separate the sections.
Yeah, and then the ring section.
Yes.
Which we never really get to.
Well, there's also a secret 5th section. What's the meme? It's like, that's a surprise that'll help us later.
Hogan will remember that.
So, it is the alliance to eliminate Hulkamania versus the Mega Powers.
Jesus Christ.
And Emily, it's Michael Buffer time.
Woo! We haven't seen Michael Buffer in so long.
Michael Buffer introduces the Mega Force. But
cool.
you literally have one job.
These aren't like the fucking Power Rangers.
Emily, who is in the alliance to eliminate Hulkamania?
It is Ric Flair being escorted by Woman and Liz.
Yes, Liz turned on Randy Savage at the last pay-per-view.
Noted. Arn Anderson. Tyra Arn Anderson. Lex Luger.
And wait, hold on. What is Arn wearing?
Just sweatsuit, basically.
Yeah, he is not
long
in his gear.
sleeve
He's
black,
rocking full
long
sweats.
sleeve.
Of like, he saw the cage and went, I ain't fucking taking bumps on my skin.
Absolutely not. Lex Luger. The Taskmaster. Meng. The Barbarian. Z Gangsta. and the redacted solution.
Yes.
Commentary keeps asking, where's Brian Pillman? To which I was going to ask you, there's a story. I know there's a story.
Yeah, there's two stories here. At Super Brawl, the last pay-per-view, they did a I Respect You match between Brian Pillman and Kevin Sullivan.
Stupid name for a match, but go off.
It's basically an I Quit match. It's one of those where the way you win is by getting your opponent to be like, no, I respect you.
Okay.
It's basically an I Quit match.
Sure.
About 90 seconds in, after some really scrappy, like hard-hitting brawling, Brian Pillman grabs the mic and goes, I respect you, Booker Man.
Okay.
Which is kind of a shoot.
So say more words then, because I'm not following.
Well, we'll get to that in a second, just because I want to mention that this results in Arn Anderson coming out in a long sleeve white shirt and like bright red golf shorts to come suddenly wrestle an impromptu match because they were not prepared for this. They are starting a loose cannon gimmick for Brian Pillman. And they went so far as Brian Pillman was like, cool, release me. Like, I win business for myself. You got to release me, Eric Bischoff. We're both in on it, but like, no one's going to buy it.
Oh, I see.
We gotta work the boys.
I see.
You have to fire me.
Okay.
And so Pillman actually shows up on one of the Nitros in the build to this. Pillman's showing up in ECW and is like threatening to pull his dick out, and
so he's really living up to the loose cannon.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Pillman will take this this actual firing as an opportunity to go sign with WWF.
Good for him.
But Hulk Hogan, seeing how popular Brian Pillman is, be like, oh, he needs to be in the match, brother. I need to beat him too.
Of course.
Fucking Hulk Hogan.
I hate Hulk Hogan. Interesting. I love that. I think that's like Uno reverse card.
Yeah,
like,
it very much is.
That is so something that Bischoff would have written, you know?
Yeah.
It's very Kevin Nash. It's very NWO. It's like Brian Pillman played him at his own game.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, it's very like, oh, you think this make it more real? Oh, I guess we should do that then.
Yeah. It is great. Swerve, it was real, and now I'm out.
Yeah.
You have nothing contractually holding me here.
Chris Benoit was advertised at one point for this, but he couldn't make it for some reason or another. I know apparently around this time, in the backstage notes I was reading, it's like, oh, like two people couldn't make Nitro because Dean Malenko was getting married and they had to go to his wedding.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
It was Benoit and somebody else. It might have been Eddie for all I remember.
Maybe. Was it Jericho? Because aren't they friends?
Yeah, maybe. I forget who it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Brian Pillman not here tonight. And also not here to start this match is Z-Gangster and the Redacted Solution.
Right. They're supposed to be in the last cage.
Yeah, I don't know what the reason for this was.
I don't know either. It didn't make any sense even when they did appear. Spoilers.
It might just try to explain some random bullshit from this match. I don't know.
There's a lot of random bullshit in this match.
So we should note the Redacted / Ultimate Solution. This man, I think, has wrestled 2 official matches, this being one of them. He's an actor. He's like a stunt guy. He goes on to play Bane in Batman and Robin.
Oh, so that's why you were making all the Bane jokes leading up to this.
We were talking about giant haystacks. He is also dead within like a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But he's on a large amount of steroids. Like his is directly related to that and not necessarily like his weight.
Like his heart giving out.
Yeah.
Well, maybe his heart giving out from the steroids. Jeez. I hate that.
They do the Dungeon of Doom in like a Gotham City set at some point.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what it's for because I'm like, Dungeon of Doom's like very dead by then.
Is the Legion in the Gotham City
of
of the nation? Is there like a Gotham City of the Nation of Domination?
Oh shit.
Maybe.
Well, is Vince Russo the Batman of the Nation Domination?
Could be. I don't know.
So everybody comes out to the cage and fucking state of your cage. Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
all the guys that were on the top, like in the top section, they go up there and they're kind of like feeling it out. And it's Arn, it's Flair, it's Luger. Who else is up in that top area?
What, Luger's in the second area.
Is he? Who's up there?
It's just Flair, Arn, and the Mega Powers.
Oh, okay. But they're all kind of like walking around like, this is not fucking stable.
So I'm trying to figure out when they decided to do this match. Because fucking man, they don't really push this until like a week out. Like it's very suddenly like, oh yeah, I'm signing this match, the Mega Powers, and now opposed to a 4-on-1 handicap match, it's gonna be 8-on-2 and yada yada. Like they do a terrible job building to this match.
Yeah, was there any kind of story behind why it was in a cage?
Just cause
because Hogan wanted to sound cool.
But yeah, this cage is so hastily put together.
Yeah.
Like, immediately they're like, oh, there's a lot of sag in every spot on this fucking cage.
Because it's just a big box of chain link.
Yeah.
Like, what's made out of a fence that kids can, like, pry through. It is not meant to be holding up multiple 200-pound men. It's scary, to say the least.
Additionally, this whole match is happening on the stage, so basically no one has a good fucking view of this.
Right. Yeah, the audience has a shit view of this match.
And it's in a cage, so it's hard to say.
Exactly.
The match starts, everyone is carefully brawling. I think everyone's delivering and taking each move with a hand on something.
Yes, definitely. Ric Flair is the biggest proponent of that. He's just like holding that center beam for stability.
Yeah, or like they immediately go to like the corners of the cage.
Or they're looking for those center support beams in the ground. Like, yeah, no one felt comfortable here.
More safe strikes and choking. Hogan like refuses to actually go to the ground for a good bit here.
Yeah.
He eventually like takes a slow sit, but like even then he gets hit with something like he gets like a full axe handle to the back and is like, I will bend over. I am not going to the ground.
I'm not taking a bump.
He's so skinny here too.
Hogan?
Yeah.
You think?
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have the roid belly.
He's
sure.
he's off the cycle.
Sure.
Yeah, Arn Anderson wearing the sweats means he can actually bump on the cage and not get cut.
So maybe he was smart. Maybe everybody backstage was like, you look stupid. He's like, you'll see.
Arn locks in a figure 4 on Hogan, so Flair locks in one on Savage. We should note, Ric Flair is the world champion here.
Oh, yeah, you did mention that going in, but he's not like defending his title at all, obviously.
No, he's entirely pointless.
He's not even like carrying the belt at any point.
Both men turn it over, so the holds are broken. Flair has a weapon. He like drops down to the next area. I don't know what the point of this was.
I don't know. Yeah, it never really came up. Because Hogan throws the pocket sand.
But they have that. This is totally different.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because Hogan and Savage suddenly like use the freedom powder.
Pocket sand.
Freedom
powder?
Yes,
no.
That's what it's called at some points.
Baby powder.
Well, they throw it down onto the next like group to be able to get down to them, and then blind Arn and Flair. And there's a like trap door we didn't even fucking see, and they go down to the next level. So now Arn and Flair are eliminated.
Per the rules, they're eliminated.
Per the rules in a no DQ match.
Correct.
So Jimmy Hart has whatever weapon that Ric Flair dropped, it seems like, because the Taskmaster is in one cage, walks across them, and then leaves the cage to go talk to Jimmy Hart and grab this weapon. I'm like, that's weird.
I didn't think you were allowed to leave the cage.
Well, but level 2 is split up into 2 sections, and Sullivan and Luger beat down Hogan. Meng and the Barbarian work over Savage, each in a different section. They then trade opponents and hit strikes. Hogan tries to lock Men and the Barbarian in their own section, and he struggles so hard with the chain, and Meng and the Barbarian are like kind of like grabbing the door, like, we're totally trying to get out.
Yeah,
Lock
like he
the door.
very much cannot lock it.
Hogan eventually manages to actually lock the door, and then he goes to brawl with Kevin Sullivan. They brawl out onto the scaffolding outside the cage, and Hulk Hogan tries to murder Kevin Sullivan.
Like, legitimately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, you're like 30 feet up. Here, I'm going to throw you off the scaffolding.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
Long live the king.
It
like,
was
what?
very Lion King, because it was high up. There were no crash pads. I was waiting for it of like, are we gonna sell this? Like, are we doing this?
Yeah, and like part of the problem was it was like you try to throw him towards the crowd, so I'm like, okay, you can't even like have like a mat or anything hidden.
No.
But then again, if there was, Hogan would take it and then immediately Hulk up.
Well, yes. Immediately. I mean, that's given.
Hogan would get thrown off the scaffolding and somehow beat Kevin Sullivan to his feet.
Somehow he would catch himself, be his own hero, brother.
On the level.
Yeah.
Savage and Luger still brawling in the cage. Hogan and Sullivan keep brawling down the scaffolding. They head to the stage, as do Luger and Savage. And then everyone kind of heads towards the main ring. In the ring, Hulk Hogan hits a big boot on Sullivan.
I know. We need to back up. Can we talk about how they're all just heading to the main ring? They're just foregoing the whole fucking cage here. They're just like, that was fun. Bye. What?
Yeah. Once again, matches that didn't have a fucking plan.
Why are we not planning things? Why are we just kind of... We've already established on this podcast that going off of vibes is a bad idea. Let's not go off of vibes for these matches. Anyway, as you were saying.
So Hogan hits a big boot in the ring. The crowd doesn't react.
No. It was like almost, you said it was like an anti-pop.
Yeah. They've given up. It's been a shit show so far. I don't blame them. And they can't see shit on this. And they've given up.
This would be one of those moments where you and I would look at each other and be like, you want to beat traffic? Like, yeah.
Or if it's Raw 30, you're like 6 tweets in. And I'm like, oh no, she's dead.
I don't want to talk about Raw 30. Okay?
Or if it's the Royal Rumble, I'm like, oh no, she's too many tweets in.
I want to talk about Royal Rumble. I want to talk about my addiction to tweet. It's bad.
Only in the month of January.
Was Raw 30 in January?
Yeah.
Too? Oh, God. It was cold when we pulled over. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I have a problem when it comes to Twee.
In January.
No, it's all year round. I just can't stop. I love Twee. I can't have Twee in the house.
Savage and Luger brawl onto the stage, and the other heels have kind of gotten loose, but don't do anything. Everyone heads back towards the cage, and Hogan saves Savage from a move. The four of them are still brawling all around the outside of the cage. Hogan and Luger head towards the ring again as Sullivan grabs some wood from like part of the set of the
It seems like there's just a pile of wood somewhere that we can't see.
And I think it's Dusty must go like, oh, he's grabbing some plunder. And Bobby's like, no, he's grabbing some lumber. Which I thought was great. And Dusty's like, no, it's plunder. like got very self-conscious. Like, no.
What does he think
joke.
the word plunder means?
I don't know, man. But like he got so defensive over like, no, that's lumber. No, fuck you.
It's plunder. Now that we're out of the cage, though, I'm so bored. Any little semblance of excitement this match had, lost. Now it was just a stupid overbooked ring match, and I'm bored.
Savage uses the 2x8s as like a weapon. Sullivan low blows Hogan. More mindless brawling. Hogan hits a chair shot to Luger, and then Luger hits one to both men. And I'm like, isn't there another part of the cage?
There is. There is another level that we've just been like,
isn't there another stage of the cage?
There sure is. We've all just kind of decided, no, there's not.
The Megaforce mount the heels and hit more punches. Then the actors come out. I'm like, oh, this will save it.
Oh, no.
Fucking Tiny Lister and Bane come out.
Why did we put those two in the final portion of the cage?
The final solution?
That's not what I said.
Well, all right. Z-Gangster is the former Zeus who has history with Hulk Hogan in terms of no holds barred.
Is that what the Z stands for?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because WWF has the copyright on Zeus in this.
So his name is legally Zeus Gangsta?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if it's gangster or gangsta.
I think it's gangsta, but commentary keeps saying gangster.
Well, they're white.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's the history there because they try to really play that up without saying what it is. I don't know why they brought Bane in, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know who knows who, but
just gotta make it weird, I guess.
That could have been Loch Ness. That 1,000% could have been.
Yeah, and it probably should have been, especially if we're putting them in the main ring. Why not?
So the actors bring the Megaforce back to do the actual match.
Bless them.
The actors overpower the faces and don't really do anything. Just like,
we're here now. Rah, 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 rah.
Kevin Sullivan on the outside has grabbed a pipe and is poking Randy Savage through the holes of the cage.
Literally just like poke. What? I don't understand the point of that.
No one seems to have a plan because Hogan is just Hogan at this point, and the other two are actors. Hogan hits Z-Gangster and then acts scared of like, oh my god, I know this man.
Okay.
Z-Gangster chokes him down. The Solution press slams Savage and does so shakily. It was like, oh.
Well, yeah.
I was scared for Savage. Solution catches Savage out of midair, which is kind of impressive, and then we get Arn Anderson and Ric Flair coming back. Referee's fine with it. I'm almost thinking this was an audible of like, get two fucking wrestlers in there.
Yeah, end this on a pseudo high note.
And Arn's actually in his gear here.
Did he change into his gear? I missed that.
He looked in bad shape too. It was kind of sad. We get a shot of Jimmy Hart cackling.
Oh, he's manic.
As Arn and Flair actually understand wrestling. We then get Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage spilling their fucking freedom powder everywhere.
Yeah. Somebody on commentary has the line, it's looking bleak. I'm like, I'm not really sure which side you're referring to at that point.
They eventually
us.
They eventually managed to throw it in the heels' faces as we get the Booty Man opening the door and handing the Megaforce frying pans.
Yeah, what?
Which they both break like immediately.
Oh, these are the flimsiest frying pans you've ever seen. One boop and these things are just crumbled. It's like that scene in The Wrestler with the cookie sheets. But it's a frying pan. You'd think it'd be a little bit sturdier.
Lex Luger then comes out, attacks the Megaforce, and puts on his weighted glove.
Is that what it was? A weighted glove?
Yeah, a coal miner's glove, whatever you want to call it. Basically, here's weapon. Just acknowledge. Just accept it.
I thought it was just like brass knucks on a glove sort of thing.
No, I don't know. This spot is meant to be. Ric Flair is holding Randy Savage. Lex Luger's going to punch him, and it's the one thing they didn't want to happen. But Lex, doesn't trust Savage to duck, and so he pulls short. Savage ducks, and then Lex well, this is the finish. So he has to, rewind up, grabs Flair by the hair, and punches Ric Flair. They treat this like, oh, you accidentally hit him.
Yes, and they stick with that.
What the fuck?
No, and he, Luger doesn't just stop short. He kind of, half steps backwards too to make sure that Randy gets out of the way, but it just ruins the whole moment.
Hogan and Savage then go to quickly leave the fucking cage. Professional Randy Savage is oh wait, we have to actually win this match. And so
he runs back in to get the pin.
Of the 5 men in the match, which one makes the most sense to take the pinfall? The actor you never see again, Z Gangster. The actor you never see again, The Ultimate Solution. He's been doing well, but lackey Arn Anderson. I guess he's still upright, but, heel Lex Luger. Or the WCW champion Ric Flair.
Who you just knocked out.
Well, no. I'm saying, why do you have Ric Flair take this spot to get pinned?
Well, because he's the only one that it matters.
He's the champion.
He's the only one that it means
It's a bullshit match. Have him pinned fucking Z Gangster.
No, because you need the mega powers to assert their dominance. No, that made sense to me. This guy was knocked out. He was an easy pin.
I'm not saying it's weird that Savage pinned Flair for that reason. I'm saying have anyone else take that knockout punch.
It wouldn't mean as much in the story. Whatever pseudo story that they're writing. It doesn't mean
anything anyway. You forgot to pin him. It doesn't mean that much. So the Mega Powers win. We cut to commentary. They wrap things up. And then we get some credits.
I loved the credits. Let me talk to you about the credits.
Okay. Talk to the credits before we go to this match and wrap things up.
Yeah. So very quickly. Usually pay-per-views don't have, wrestling in general doesn't really have rolling credits. So when this started going, it was kind of weird. But to add to the weird, it was just everyone's first name that was involved. So, you just see a running list of,
for a lot of them. There are some that get them later.
Very, very few, though. So, as it's going, it's just who did lighting? Oh, Joey, Bill, Phil, Tony. Who did costuming? Jay, Andrew. Just names. And then at the very end, it's executive producer and vice president, Eric Bischoff. Of course, he gets his last name.
No, I would actually like credits more on some wrestling shows or have it accessible somewhere. Cause I think the only person anyone's known in production has been Kevin Dunn and maybe Stu because John Cena constantly calls him out, one of the camera guys.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm I don't know who the LD or anything is for these shows. Yeah.
We don't know who runs the cameras of we don't know who's on the floor. We don't know who's backstage. We don't know the team. Which in a lot of cases, it's not necessary. But when you're doing a live show like this and we know some of them, it's kind of weird that we don't know more. Or at least see their names.
Thoughts on this match, though, Emily?
Oh, it was rough.
Oh, this was... I was really hoping this was going to be a match that, it's so bad it's good. And I'm this match is so bad it's good, and then it wraps around back to bad again.
Yeah, it's mostly just bad.
Yeah. It's funny to see how ramshackled the cage is, and then they leave the cage, and I'm oh, now I don't care again.
Exactly. Once they left the cage, oh, cool, I'm bored.
Yeah, it jumps the shark there. Mm-hmm. And, random booty man save. I'm why? Also, you guys were mostly doing fine. You really didn't need...
Right.
This was awful.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough... This is Hulk Hogan's last pay-per-view before joining the NWO.
Oh, wow.
I looked into that after this because I'm for me, 96 is Hogan does this and then joins the NWO. I'm what's in between? It's
not much.
2 Nitro matches in April, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very much he's on one of his little breaks.
Is he on TV, cutting promos or something?
Not really. I mean, he had a bunch of time kind of built off into his schedule when he signed his contract, but... I've always wondered what's in between. I'm oh, it's not much. But yeah, so it makes sense that you literally cannot do anything with Hulk Hogan after this besides turn him heel.
I mean, yeah.
The crowd was not into this match either.
No,
we're not alone here. It's
not
was
very obvious that the crowd was not into it. It was kind of embarrassing.
And Kevin Sullivan's technically the main booker, but apparently he's just getting his marching orders from Hogan.
Shocker.
And as much as I hate to say this, I do not think the NWO would exist without the Dungeon of Doom.
So can I tell you my geography? Because we did not actually go over it.
Sure.
So this tower of cages was called the Tower of Doom. And then the main cage at the bottom was the Doomsday cage.
Okay.
So the Tower of Doom is what lays above the Dungeon of Doom, because the dungeon has to be a basement, so the tower is above the Dungeon of Doom. The Dungeon of Doom resides within the Legion of Doom, and the Doomsday Cage acts as like a moat around the entirety of the Tower of Doom. And then, of course, we know that this resides within the Nation of Domination, and we know that the Crow lives on top of the tower. There's our geography.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else you've added in.
I don't think so.
No, but as I was saying... It's weird that I can draw a very clear line between one of the biggest booms in wrestling history to this fucking Dungeon of Doom.
I love it.
Basically, you had to do something else because of the Dungeon of Doom.
I love it.
Thoughts on this overall pay-per-view, Emily?
I will forget it tomorrow.
I asked you, after we watched it, I'll ask you again, is this worse than December to Dismember?
No. And I stand by that. It is not worse.
I think I disagree.
So So December to Dismember was bad because it was offensive. It was offensive to the viewer's intelligence, and it was just making a mockery of us as a viewer. And that's why I think it is egregiously bad. That you'll always hear me say, this match was bad, but it was not offensive. And this show, Uncensored 96, was bad. It was not offensive. It was boring, it was long, it was poorly booked, but it was not offensive. And for that reason, it is not worse than December to Dismember.
I think the multiple long nothing matches and the abysmal, I'm totally the underdog brother main event. I think it's close, but I think this is a
I'm
worse
not
show.
saying this is good.
No, I think this is a worse show, but it's close to where, like, I get you picking that. It's not, it's not like I remember Super Brawl, Super Brawl 99, which I lost my mind on. Like, I think that's probably even a lot better than this one.
Probably, yeah. So my follow-up question to you is, would you rather a card filled to the brim, I'm talking like 15, 16 matches, but they're all quick, or a card like this where it's 7 matches and they're all egregiously long?
My issue is that I don't know what, like, is there any story for the matches, or is it WrestleMania 4 where it's just a tournament?
I'm not going to say there's a tournament. I'm going to say that all 15, 16 matches have minimal story going in.
In a bit of maybe hypocrisy, I will take the more shorter matches, but recognize the show is going to feel longer.
Okay, because I can't handle that many matches.
I can handle a long show. It's just a matter of, I'm like, it's easy to tune this show out.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm better with this show than I am with a show like that. When it's 15 matches on a card, I'm just saying 15. I don't think we've ever actually watched a show that has 15. No. But when we have a show that has that many matches, it's exhausting. Especially for us in our position, we have to keep real track of what's going on, the storylines, and then all of a sudden, before we even realize that it's started, it's over, and we're on to the next one. It's harder to watch.
I'll at least take that. Admittedly, a lot of these matches, like the long, boring matches, I'm like almost struggling internally because I'm trying to find things to say.
Yeah.
And
no, I heard that a lot when we were talking here. You're like, mindless brawling, yada yada.
Yeah, it's like I'm struggling more because I'm like I don't know what to say and I want to convey this match. But,
yeah.
Oh, Emily, this was a grind. And with that, it's episode 100. I feel like we should bookend the beginning and the end with another little shot, Emily.
Don't tell my doctor.
You're going to show up and
they're going to be like, the antibiotics didn't work. What's going on?
No, it's like I listened to the episode. I'm a butthead like the rest of them.
We're not calling them buttheads.
You don't have a better name.
I'm not naming my fans. That's so 2016 cringy. No, I'm not naming fans.
The buttheads.
No.
All right, well.
Cheers to 100 episodes. Here's to 100 more.
100 episodes are dead. Long live 100 episodes.
Ugh.
But, Emily, we do still have to go into best bit, worst bit, and MVP.
This was a struggle bus.
Yeah, admittedly, I kind of had my MVP and worst bit on the night. Yeah, my best bit, I still don't feel great about, but it's going to be what it's going to be.
I think my best bit's going to be fucky.
What is your best bit, Emily?
Nick Patrick's leg.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Name me a better best bit.
It's funny, when you said it, I knew it was going to be that.
Him flexing his leg up to the rope. It was in such like a dance move almost. He was like, no, it is this. It gave me joy. So yeah, Nick Patrick's leg was the best bit.
Jesus.
What? Give me a better one.
The medulla oblongata. It's the Road Warriors promo. It's all I got, man.
Okay.
Honorable mention to Finlay versus Regal. It was maybe, but like...
It was passable. I don't know if I would give it best bit.
Yeah, I think it's passable on this show.
Yeah.
There's nothing good on this show, man.
No, there's hence the leg.
Emily, what is your worst bit?
So it was close. It was close between the main event and what I chose. I did not choose the main event.
Okay.
I picked the Booker Sting versus Road Warrior match.
I don't blame you.
It was fucking terrible.
Oh, man, honestly, if I could give it to a three-way tie of the tag team title match, the main event, and the DDP Booty Man match, I would.
No, I don't think I would put that in my top.
I'm going to give mine to the main event.
Yeah.
Because there are people in that match who could have had a decent match in this show, and it was like, well, no, Hulk Hogan has to beat them, so we can't do Savage versus Flair tonight because Hogan needs to beat Ric Flair.
Yeah.
It took talent away from potential matches.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
I do get that.
Your choice is very valid.
So is yours.
Yeah.
It's a very valid choice. Mutual respect here.
And I think there is also an element of people remember this show for my match being bad.
Yes.
And they are surprised about how bad your choice is.
Yes, it's like a cherry on top.
But let's try to find a little silver lining, Emily. Who is your MVP?
So everyone's going to be
Do
mad
not
at
give it
me.
a Dusty Rhodes.
No!
Do not give it a Dusty Rhodes.
I was going to give it to commentary as a whole because
No.
they had some hella good zingers.
Don't give it.
They had such good zingers on commentary that I was like, they were giving me a little bit of life. My plan B was Jimmy Hart just for being unapologetically himself and knowing his goddamn character. I love him.
Pick one person.
One person? But you just told me I can't give it to Dusty, and I feel like people are going to get mad at me if I give it to Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Fine, Bobby Heenan. Commentary was hilarious tonight. They were so snarky and sassy and did not want to be there as much as we did not want to be watching, and they were forced to be there.
I think Dusty wanted to be there. I think Tony and Bobby didn't.
But it was hilarious. I loved listening to commentary on this show. Who's your MVP? If you give it to fucking, like, Randy Savage or something, I'm gonna kill you.
You know, honestly, for a second, I was debating Randy because Randy's the only one in that match who's focused.
Sure.
But I am gonna go the opposite end of this.
Oh,
I'm
God.
giving mine to Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, I kind of forgot he was on this show.
Eddie showed some good flash. You get like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a big deal. He had something in his match, and
But even his match was boring.
I blame-
Eddie Guerrero put on a boring match.
I blame Conan, and I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
If you look back, most of my notes are about Eddie doing something, and Conan's also there.
I guess that's fair.
Oh, next up is WrestleMania 9. Why? Why did I pick Sold Out? That's coming after. What the fuck?
You did this.
I had that moment at the end of the show of, fuck me,
But it's gonna be okay because we're gonna go to WrestleMania and we're gonna watch Cody get the belt off of Roman.
We haven't
and
put
it's
out
gonna
Thunder
be
yet. I
fine.
can re-record. I
It's
can
gonna be
change my
fine.
answer.
It's gonna be fine. We haven't put out the graphic. You're right.
I'll do Canadian Stampede or something. I don't know.
Canadian Stampede. I don't want to ask, but we're gonna go to WrestleMania and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. We have that little thing to look forward to.
Yeah, we'll see what happens to the rest of that card.
Good. I can't wait.
Additionally, in between WrestleMania 9 and Sold Out, we will have Heroes of Wrestling over on the Patreon. As mentioned a couple times, WrestleMania 29 now on the Patreon, patreon.com/butts-in-the-seats. We got some good stuff over there. We really do. We got 10 episodes right now.
We do.
And upcoming, we got more Impact and Hogan Knows Best.
Ooh, Hogan Knows Best is going to be a toughie for you, I feel.
Well, it's going to be toughy because we have to watch on Daily Motion because
You're
it's
gonna be
not available anywhere.
No, which is wild.
Like season 2 you can buy. You can't even find season 1 anywhere.
You can't find it to purchase. Like we've committed to giving money to this, and they won't take it.
Some money. I'm not buying a DVD off eBay. But you can listen to all of our canon episodes. And
all 100 canon episodes. I think it's been 100 episodes.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts, Deezer, and iHeartRadio.
Woo! Deezer. We love Deezer.
And Emily, you can follow us on social media at
Butts in the Pod on Instagram and X, as well as Threads. And Butts in the Seats Podcast on Facebook. And then you can follow us on Patreon. $5 a month at patreon.com/buttsintheseats. $5 a month gets you an extra episode every 3 or so weeks. We're aiming to keep to that 3 weeks timeline. It can be iffy here and there, but absolutely one extra episode a month for $5 a month.
Yeah, last episode's up. The Marine and WrestleMania 29.
Looking forward to it.
All about that John Cena life, apparently. Well, Emily, any closing thoughts on episode 100?
It's been a crazy ride. I can't believe we've actually sat down and recorded and put out 100 episodes. That's bizarre to me. I thought we were going to bail on this 30 episodes in.
I do want to give a thank you, even though we may or not have, paid these people for sponsorships and plugs and all that. But Add to Your Podcast and OSW Review, 2 shows that definitely have given us a bump. And shows that helped inspire, the format and the style and the humor and the subjects. And admittedly, if you listen to those and don't listen to us and don't see the resemblance, I don't know what the hell you're hearing.
They've also kind of paved the way, both of those podcasts, on how to talk about really difficult subjects. So we really do thank them for kind of being the guiding light in wrestling podcasting.
And we want to thank, all of you, as cliche as it is.
Yeah, we kind of made the decision at the very beginning of this podcast journey of, if no one's listening, we're not going to continue, because what's the point? But you guys have been so incredibly supportive, and you've been here for every episode, and you've showed up, and it's really incredible to see. Like, every time we get a new, you don't understand how excited I get every time we get a new follower on Instagram or Twitter, or whenever we get a new patron on Patreon. I get so excited. So I really can't thank you enough. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, it really helps to know we're not just screaming into the void.
Yeah, because it really does sometimes feel like that.
I also continue to be convinced that we have listeners in high places, because we'll talk about something and then I'll hear, a cultaholic or fucking wrestle talk and something mentioned. I remember we talked about the dogs, and then there was a video of surprising final WCW appearances, and Jericho was one of them, and I'm like, you fuckers
listened to our podcast, didn't you, Squidward?
We
don't think that highly of ourselves, but be cool if it was.
But then again, on the flip side, we and SmackDown Crawled both talked about the random pay-per-view stills unrelated to each other.
We all fucking hate them. Aside from anything wrestling related, though, you as the listeners have listened to Nick and I grow as a couple. You've listened to us move house together. You've listened to us talk about wedding planning. We announced our engagement on this podcast. We've now been married. We've shared our life with you, and as minimal as as we have, but you guys have become part of our lives, and we talk about what we want to talk about on the podcast to share with people. So we are always thinking about you as listeners.
This started as a try to stay sane during lockdown and all that. And
this was just a passing hobby that we're like, we'll kill a couple hours. We have microphones.
I remember what the hell we had for episode 1, because it sounds so bad. It makes me so embarrassed. Because episode 2 sounds fine. I'm like, what did we do?
I remember we had binders. We were sitting at our dining room table, and we had binders in front of each other to try to block out the sound. So we couldn't even see each other, even though we were a foot away from each other, because we were trying to block the sound from one mic to the other. It was so shoddy. Yeah,
we're 100 episodes in, and I can guarantee you 69 more.
Nice.
/ episode 170 is just going to be a overall bitsies.
And who knows, maybe at some point in those 69 episodes we'll share more big life moments.
So Emily, any closing thoughts?
Thanks. And thank you, Nick. Thank you for sitting across from me for all 100 episodes.
Thank you. I know it's not always easy to keep up with my lizard brain.
And it's not always easy to, it's not always easy for you to understand my goldfish brain. I know how frustrating that could be for you.
Yeah, well, I think there's only one question to take us out, Emily. Who is Scott Norton?
I don't want to talk about it.
Emily, who is Scott Norton? Tell me anything
Thanks
about
for listening
Scott
to the Butts in the Seats podcast.
Bye! Welcome to a special post-show quiz. Re-recorded intro for it because we did this at the start originally and it kind of ended on the wrong foot because I kind of misrepresented what the quiz was meant to be.
Yeah, it kind of divulged into a whole other thing.
This was presented as a quiz, and really what it is a Can Emily guess a series of fun facts about the podcast.
After 100 episodes, there are a lot of things to be, asked about, and y'all know my goldfish brain. I didn't do too hot.
So the goal was to get 16 points on this quiz out of 30 questions, plus some others at the end. But enjoy this series of fun facts disguised as a Butts in the Seats quiz.
Woo!
So Emily, since we're talking about the last quiz, can you name a question from the first quiz?
Who was on the Raw that went head-to-head with Nitro?
Emily, that is not the question.
That's the essence of the question.
No, it was name another match from...
Oh, I think I should get that.
Now, what you can do is get the bonus point, which is, what was the answer to that question? I'll take any answer.
Okay, so tell me what the actual question was again.
Name any match from the night of the Finger Poke of Doom.
Like, any of the answers?
Yes.
Well, you just said Rock and
Yes,
Mankind.
I admittedly actually gave that away.
Yeah,
so
you just said Rock
you
and
get a bonus
Mankind.
point. Second bonus point, Chance. What shot did I have to do for you getting enough points?
I feel like this was towards the beginning of your obsession with Screwball. I'm going to say you did Screwball.
No, loser had to do a shot of pecan bourbon.
Oh, yeah, because that was an engagement gift, and we recorded this after our engagement party.
I kind of imagine a lot of these you're going to be getting it wrong and then going, oh, yeah. All right, so Emily, you have 1 point.
1 point.
Question number 2. How many WrestleManias have we reviewed, including the ones on Patreon?
Oh, okay.
Already reviewed, so your pick of WrestleMania 9 does not count.
My gut answer is 11.
You're somewhat close. The correct answer is 9. And from memory, in release order, we did WrestleMania 37 first, then 15 in the timeline, then 38, which was not a numbered episode, but...
That's where all the weird math of, like, is this the 100th episode comes in?
Yeah.
Whatever.
WrestleMania 24, WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania 2000, and then 18, 13, and 29 on the Patreon. Technically, very shortly, we will have done 11, because we'll have done WrestleMania 9 and WrestleMania 40.
Yes.
So you were incorrect, but you're only temporarily incorrect.
Yeah, so give me a month and I'll be there.
Emily, this question has a chance for 2 points.
Okay.
Getting 3 of them correct gets you 1 point. Getting all of them correct gets you 2 points. Emily, please name for me the members of the NWO B team.
Oh, on it. Okay. Brian Adams.
Yes.
Stevie Ray.
Yes.
Kurt Hennig.
No.
No. Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Was he in the Wolfpack?
He was in the actual NWO, and he was kicked out kind of by the B team, but he was still in the NWO.
Okay, fine. Barry Windham.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Same episode.
No.
Literally the same segment.
I disagree. Well, now I'm second fucking guessing everything.
Emily, you need to name one more to get a point. You've named Brian Adams.
Horace fucking Hogan.
Correct.
Win. That seemed like such a bullshit answer. I hated that.
Emily, you were missing Vincent.
Never was going to remember him.
And I swear to God, you fucking missed Scott Norton again. We just talked about him.
Wait, even as you said his name, I was like, who's that? Oh, right.
The thing is, we were talking about that on the last episode, and I'm like, she's going to get this fucking question wrong in the next episode. And you did.
Scott Norton cannot stay in my brain. I don't know what is wrong with me or with him. I think it's him. I don't think it's me, honestly. He, gone. Never sticks. Give me a lineup of men, I will never point him out.
All right, question number 4. 2 men have gotten 3 MVPs from one of us and none from the other.
Oh.
It's one from each. Name either of them for 1 point or name both of them for 2 points.
Something tells me Scott Steiner.
Correct.
Yes.
I have given Steiner MVP 3 times. You have not given it to him once.
Yes, that sounds right.
And then
For me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of somebody that like I love just for the lulz, and you never give it to the lulz.
It's not, I'll give you the hint, it's not necessarily for the lulz. It's almost surprising I haven't picked this person.
Okay.
I will note, it's not Hulk Hogan or Kevin Nash.
Is it a wrestler?
Yes.
Is it Scott Hall?
No. Roddy Piper.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised too. There are 4 potential answers for this.
Oh my god.
You can get up to 4 points. Name any of the fucky MVPs.
Wait, the definition of fucky MVP shifts every time I do it.
Okay, it's the people that are like basically unnamed.
The woo girl.
Yes, the woo girl is one of them. You have 4 points.
Wait, I got 4 points for that one.
No. I'm saying you have 4 points total.
Okay.
There are 3 others if you can get any of them. One of them was mine too.
Oh, it was the dog backstage with Jericho.
No, that was the best bit. That was not
Damn
an
it.
MVP.
Oh. It was like a security guard or something.
Oh, you're very close. You're warm.
Oh. Fuck.
Anybody else you want to guess before you throw in the towel?
No, we never gave MVP to a dog.
No.
I really remember giving it to a dog.
No, we gave that to the best bit.
I'm out. I don't know.
You're thinking of Joe the Cop.
Joe the Cop.
The farmer who helps Ric Flair out of the field.
Yes! We love him.
And the contortionist who did a segment with Kevin Nash, like getting out of a box or something.
Oh, yeah, because I remember giving it to her because she showed real talent.
Who have we given the most MVPs to over the course of the podcast?
Ugh, okay. I feel like I'm going to be wrong, but my gut says DDP.
Correct.
Yay!
When I made this quiz originally, the answer was Bret Hart, and we
then
gave
we
it to
just
him
kept
so
giving it to
much in the last
DDP.
couple episodes that it's DDP. Not for bonus point, but do you want to guess how many times you give it to him?
7 times?
17.
17 times?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Collectively.
Okay. Damn. Oh, collectively. Okay.
Emily, how many ECW shows have we reviewed on the main feed?
Are we counting WWE CW?
That was on the Patreon, so that one doesn't count
Damn
regardless.
it, you're right. 3.
5.
Fuck.
Question number 8. Who has appeared in the most pay-per-view best bits?
I want to say Ric Flair.
I would have accepted 2 answers. Neither of them are Ric Flair.
Fuck.
The full correct answer is Chris Benoit, but I didn't like that answer.
Fair.
So I would have accepted Billy Kidman.
I was thinking Kidman and Mysterio are always my favorite matches, but like they're not always on pay-per-views. That was my thought.
They're usually in the undercard is the thing, and you pretty much always give it to him.
I do, and I love Billy Kidman. Damn, I feel bad about that. I was gonna say that.
All right, we danced around this one earlier.
Damn it.
Emily, including this one, how many episodes have we actually released across here and on Patreon? Point of order, I am not counting the re-release of episode 1.
Okay. It's going to be minimum 110. I'm going to say 117.
113. There are only 3 unnumbered episodes on the main feed.
Really?
It is WrestleMania 38, 39, and NXT Season 3.
Wow. I thought there were more.
Question number 10. What is our most listened to episode?
I believe it's the Halloween Havoc episode.
It's close. It's number 2.
It was Halloween Havoc for so long.
Bash at the Beach 1999 did so well out of nowhere. And I don't get it because it's not a good show.
You know what? I will take that loss.
pay-per-view.
Sure. Okay. Damn.
They are
Havoc
very
has been
close.
dethroned. Everybody go listen to Halloween Havoc real quick.
Question 11. Did we release more episodes while dating or engaged?
You're saying engaged, not married.
Correct.
Because it's definitely not married. Oh, I want to say dating.
Is that your final answer?
I feel like I'm wrong now that you're asking.
Is
for
that your final
clarification.
answer?
Yes.
You are correct.
Yes!
When you go, I want to say, you're not saying it. You want to say it. That's why I asked.
Because we were dating for 3 years doing this. We were engaged for 1 year doing this. And now we've been married for 6 months. So obviously it wasn't the 6 months. But we did a lot of recording in that 1 year. So.
I have the numbers if you want them.
Yeah.
We released 47 episodes while dating.
Holy fuck. How did
41 while engaged.
Wow. We did 41 episodes in a year.
It was
That's
a little over a
wild.
year.
Like just over a year. Year and 3 months.
I think we also committed to doing more in that time.
During that engagement period, that was when we like really ramped up. I don't know why we hated ourselves in this year, because in the year of our engagement, we got engaged. I started a new job. Nick started a new job. We ramped up production on the podcast. We bought a house. And oh yeah, we planned a wedding. Why did we hate ourselves between 2022 and 2023? 41 episodes of the podcast in that time. Oh my God.
I will give or take a week on this because I'm asking for a date.
Okay.
What date did we watch WrestleMania 18 for the pilot?
Oh, for the pilot? Okay.
I found the date in my notes, and I'm like, all right, there we go.
Okay, so we recorded around Halloween, but that was Halloween Havoc. We did the pilot like way before that because you did not want to commit to doing a podcast.
No, I didn't want to commit to editing the 4-hour recording file.
No, but I think it was like 4 months. It was a long time, but it was also COVID and we were depressed and drinking and it was bad. I am going to say we record, and it was hot. It was hot. So I'm going to say that it was in June. I'm going to say it was, June 22nd.
July 23rd.
Oh my God, I was so close. Come
July
on.
33rd.
Come on.
2020. To be fair, yeah, it was hot and it was the summer of 2020. We weren't that close.
I was off by a month.
Yeah, they're all...
That's not that far off.
Granted, what the question is...
When it was a month, I was off by a month from something that happened 5 years ago.
4, but...
Whatever. Oh, I'm mad about that. I should get that. Write in if I should get that.
Still at 6 points. Question 13. What was the exit music for our first episode?
I don't fucking know. You were doing Mario stuff at the beginning.
What was the first episode, Emily?
Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
Monster Mash.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. See, that's the thing. You're overthinking it now. You're at 7 points.
Yeah. Nick tries to squeeze Monster Mash into as much in his life as he can. He will go to karaoke and sing Monster Mash in like July.
Yeah.
It's just a holiday song.
Holiday song. 4th of July. Question 14. How many Nitros were in the first Vince Russo era?
Less than you think. Because it wasn't a year, right?
Substantially less than a year.
Yeah, it was only a few months. I'm going to say there were 8.
13.
Ugh.
All right. Question number 15. What is the only WCW show we've reviewed that was not on the main timeline? I should say, like, not like in chronological order kind of thing. There's one show we did out of order.
Halloween Havoc 97. 98. I thought 98 is where we started.
Correct.
Halloween Havoc 98.
No, that's the first episode. How is that one out of timeline? That's the first episode we did.
You just looked at me like I was right, and then I wasn't right.
No, the look I gave you was... it's 95. It's not 98.
I knew it was Halloween Havoc. I'm giving myself a half a point.
No,
Yes.
Here, I'm giving you a freebie point. Emily, who is the joint MVP from that episode?
Oh, the Yeti.
Thank you.
I'm
All
giving
right.
myself a point.
You are at 8 points.
Not doing well. This is not going well.
You actually cannot win at this point.
Rad. Fuck it. I don't even give a
We'll
shit.
keep going, though. Question 16. Name a former WWE champion that we've seen on the show, but neither of us has ever given MVP. I am not counting Chris Benoit or David Arquette.
Randy Savage?
We have given Randy Savage MVP.
Damn it. I don't know, man. I've already lost.
The 4 possible answers, 2 of them would have been tough to remember that we saw them, were Ron Simmons and Vader.
You're being fucky. You're being fucky because you made that sound like we watched them on WCW television, and we obviously did not.
Okay, the other 2 are the Giant and Jeff Jarrett, so...
Okay.
Weird honorable mention in that category to Barry Windham.
Well, we gave him West Essex Rednecks.
Yes, so it's one of those, does it count for him? But also, he won like the NWA title when it was in
That doesn't
WCW. It's a whole weird lineage. There's a couple guys that count for NWA title in WCW, but yeah. No, Vader and Ron Simmons were ones that I didn't think. But
That's
yeah,
fucky.
the Giant and Jeff Jarrett, those are real
Forget that
ones.
The Giant. We've never given Jeff Jarrett MVP.
You sound surprised like we'd be.
I'm saying you've never given Jeff Jarrett MVP.
No.
That's shocking to me. I hate Jeff Jarrett, but he's been so present in so many things that I could have seen it going to him at some point. The Giant, I don't know why the fuck he ever had the title.
Let's move into our second category of this. So the next and final category is spot the fake pay-per-view match.
Okay.
So Emily, I'm going to give you a list of 4 matches. 3 of these matches we have reviewed on the podcast. They're all pay-per-view matches. One of them we have not. It's either a fake match or it happened, on a Nitro, or it happened on a show we didn't review.
Oh, God, I hate that.
There's one match we have not reviewed in each list of 4.
On a pay-per-view.
Correct. To potentially help, we'll see. I am going in pay-per-view order.
That does not help at all, and you know it.
Your first group of 4 is Ernest Miller versus Norman Smiley, Alex Wright versus Fit Finlay, Ernest Miller and Sonny Ono versus Perry Saturn and Kaz Hayashi, or Brian Adams and Scott Norton versus Fit Finlay and Jerry Flynn.
My guess is Kat and Sonny versus Perry and Kaz Hayashi.
That is a real match that happened on World War III.
I believe that it was a real match. I just didn't think it was on the pay-per-view.
So I forgot to mention the unofficial title of this section of, I can't believe they put that on pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, because they put this shit on pay-per-view.
Honestly, these are just more meant to be, remember this match?
I don't. My second guess was that last one you said.
No, I guess I should say the fake answer. It was Ernest Miller versus Norman
Fuck.
Smiley. That happened at Fall Brawl 98, pay-per-view before our first episode.
Okay, that's so fucky.
But we never watched that.
Because that sounds more like a pay-per-view match.
Question 2. Your options are Chris Benoit versus Mike Enos, Booker T versus Disco Inferno, David Flair versus Kurt Hennig, or Jerry Flynn facing Ernest Miller and Sonny Ono. I did realize, I don't think Emily remembers any Ernest Miller matches.
I'm going to say the David Flair one didn't happen on pay-per-view.
You are correct.
I'll be damned. That was a shot in the fucking dark, I'll tell you what.
The actual match was a tag team match of Ric Flair and David Flair against Kurt Hennig and Barry Windham.
Ah, wow.
The singles match did not happen. Question 3. Scotty Riggs versus Mikey Whipwreck, Gorgeous George versus Charles Robinson, Ernest Miller versus Horace Hogan, or Blitzkrieg versus Psychosis.
The first one.
That is a real match. Scotty Riggs defeated Mikey Whipwreck in his debut. The fake
Who the
match.
fuck is Scotty Riggs?
He is Buff Bagwell's former tag partner.
Who the fuck is Scotty Riggs?
The incorrect answer was Blitzkrieg versus Psychosis.
That didn't happen on a pay-per-view?
Blitzkrieg actually faced Juventud Guerrera
Fuck
on
you.
pay-per-view. By the way, we are in the summer of 99 at this point.
That doesn't help anything, and you know it.
All right, question 4. Rick Steiner versus Van Hammer, the No Limit Soldiers versus the Jersey Triad, Randy Savage versus Dennis Rodman, or Hugh Morris and Brian Knobbs versus Dean Malenko and Shane Douglas.
That one.
The correct answer was the No Limit Soldiers versus the Jersey Triad.
That didn't happen?
They never even feuded.
Really?
Yep. No Limit Soldiers only feuded with the Filthy Animals.
Cool.
And then they
Wow.
vanished.
I really thought they were around longer.
Question 5. Brad Armstrong versus Berlin, Medusa versus Mona, David Flair versus Kimberly Page, Vampiro versus Dr. Death Steve Williams.
I'm going to say David versus Kimberly.
Nope, that is a match that at least sort of happened. Ended in no contest. The fake match was Medusa versus Mona, a match they announced and then never did.
Okay, so I remember that being, talked about.
And the final question in this category,
And the whole test.
is Tank Abbott versus Jerry Flynn, The Wall versus The Demon, Norman Smiley and The Demon versus Lane and Rave, or The Wall versus Crowbar and David Flair.
See, I don't feel like this is fair because I know all of these matches have happened.
One of them is not.
One's a true fake.
One of them is a true fake.
The Wall versus Crowbar and David Flair.
Correct.
Because he only feuded with Crowbar.
He faced Bam Bam, and then Crowbar David Flair came out afterwards to do a whole angle.
Damn.
But he did feud with both them. But yeah, that was tougher than I thought it would be. I'm still proud of you.
I'm not.
And Emily, I have a bonus section we're going to try to speed through. I'll give you bonus points for any of these to get you back up to speed.
I don't need your pity points. I got 10 points out of a possible 30.
Well, I have a
I
list
failed
of...
in school. I fail in the test. It's fine.
Emily, I have 10 Patreon bonus questions.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Emily, name the entire cast of Legends House.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Okay, so there's Mean Gene, Pat Patterson, Roddy Piper, Tony Atlas, Hacksaw Jim, Hillbilly Jim. There's another Jim. Oh, Jimmy Hart. That's 7. I have one more.
Non-wrestler.
Oh, Fink.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Bonus point for Emily.
Ooh. That makes it all worth it.
Emily, what was Ashley's last name?
Oh, Ashley Pussycat Doll. I don't know.
That's what I was just like, I don't know if Emily will know this.
No.
Ashley Roberts.
Sure. Ashley Pussycat Doll.
Emily, can you name one of the 2 bands that performed on our pilot episode of WrestleMania 18?
No.
We're looking for Saliva or Drowning Pool.
Nope.
In our ECW December episode, who was the competitor removed from the Extreme Elimination Chamber? They found this person basically unconscious in some random backstage area.
Yes, I remember. Who the fuck was that? Was it Iron Sheik?
You're barking up similar trees. Iron Sheik would not have been able to wrestle at that time. You're racistly correct.
Fuck, I was afraid of that.
Think ECW Arabian.
It's not coming to me.
Sabu.
Oh.
Question 5. Name another actor or actress from the Marine that's not John Cena.
Robert. His name is Robert. Robert Terminator.
You know what? You've identified the first name when you know them from. I'll give you the point. It's Robert Patrick.
Sure.
Do you remember John Cena's character's name? That's not
John Triton.
There you go. Okay.
Absolutely.
Of
course I remember John Triton. His wife's name was Kate. And then there were some goons. That I remember some of their names, but not all of them.
What is Val Venus's TNA catchphrase?
Oh, fuck off.
It's real dumb.
It's not hello, ladies.
No.
Is it just hello there?
No.
No. Fuck. Oh, what is it? I can't remember.
I only said it once. I mean, but it's ladies, I'm here.
Yes. It was something along the same lines.
What city did Unforgiven 2006 take place in?
Toronto.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, Emily, you've had 2 people that have appeared who have gotten best bit for an episode and worst bit for an episode. One of them got best bit, worst bit on the same episode. One of them got best bit on one episode and worst bit on another.
I gave somebody the best bit and the worst bit?
Yes. Can you name either of these 2?
Jesus Christ. And this on a Patreon episode?
These are all Patreon episodes. I'd say they appeared in them. You don't necessarily give it to them.
It's not Edge, is it?
No.
I'm thinking of the weird hangy moment at that WrestleMania.
That was that was a main timeline WrestleMania. That would not have appeared on Patreon.
I don't know.
You gave best bit to The Rock for Hogan and Rock, and then you gave worst bit to The Rock for The Rock and John Cena.
I don't remember either of those matches.
One of them we just reviewed. It's the last episode.
Nope.
And you also gave it to Bret Hart on the same night for WrestleMania 13 for his match with Steve Austin, and then him just being a whiny little fucker.
That sounds right.
You've had those 2 appear in a best bit and worst bit. You've only had one person appear twice in a best bit on the Patreon.
We've done so many different things on the Patreon. I can't find a line of relation.
Yeah, they are a handful of years apart.
I don't know.
The answer was CM Punk.
Oh.
You gave him best bit for Undertaker and CM Punk, and then the Extreme Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
And Emily, final question before I put you out of your misery.
I'm dying.
This one is a little cheating. This one is not actually a Patreon episode that's happened yet. But true or false? Lex Luger will body slam Yokozuna at Heroes of Wrestling.
True.
False. God damn it, Emily.
It's happening in my heart.
Lex is actually employed when they do Heroes of Wrestling. Oh, that went a lot longer than I thought.
Sorry, I have to think. You just bombarded me with 22 fucking questions that I don't know the answers to. Sorry.
Actually, 32 questions.
Yeah, fuck you. I don't even feel bad for this going long.
Well, thanks for listening to this random bonus quiz at the end of Uncensored, and we'll see you at WrestleMania 9.